So, as we start off, we're going to start off in the scene where the rain is falling in thick sheets, and as you turn the narrow dirt roads of Pennsylvania, the rain turning them into rivers of mud. Overhead, you have clouds stretching as far as the eye can see, dark and heavy, keeping secrets. It's past midnight, and in the small rural town, it's eerily still. It's the kind of stillness that presses in and suffocates, as the earth itself is waiting for something. There's something unsettling about this place. The old church at the town center stands tall, its windows blacked out. Across the road, dim lights flicker in houses where the townsfolk have long since gone to bed, unaware or perhaps willfully ignorant of the storm that's brewing just outside their doors. A black SUV pulls up slowly, its headlights cutting through the downpour. Inside, Agent Graham Sutherland sits in the driver's seat, his sharp eyes scanning the surroundings. There's a certain precision to the way he moves, methodical, controlled, as if every action is calculated. His skepticism about the case weighs heavy, but there's a nagging curiosity he can't quite shake. In the passenger seat, Agent Helen Celeste watches the rain tap against the windshield, her mind elsewhere. Always looking beyond the obvious, Helen's eyes are alert, searching the shadows for signs of something unexplainable. She knows that there is more than a smuggling case. It has to be. The air feels thick with mystery, with secrets buried in the past, exactly what she has been chasing all of her life. They have been sent here for a reason, tasked with recovering a lost artifact, but both agents know this is just the beginning. And as the SUV idles at the edge of town, the distant toll of the church bells echoes through the nights. Something ancient stirs, and the quiet streets seem to be holding their breath. A storm is coming, but it's not the rain they should fear. The two of you sit in your car on the outskirts of town. You have full reign. It is up to you where you would like to go, or do whatever you would like to do.
Well, I guess we're here to investigate, so we should probably be doing that.
For sure.
I think that might be a good idea.
So I'm
To the
assuming...
church!
Okay, straight to the church. In that case, for our resident skeptic, what I would like from you is a driving check.
Okay.
Because you are behind the wheel of the car. And it's not necessarily like, can you drive the car, which evidently you can't, but it's just how easily you can navigate the town. So you see the steeple of this church, and you're like, aha, I have to go in that direction. But the roads do not go in a straight line to the church, and you find yourself in the complete opposite direction. And you find yourself instead on a small, not a strip mall, but you know those old-fashioned like town streets where you've got all these stores lined up. You're on one of those. There are no parked cars because it is very late at night, and these aren't really homes for the most part. You find yourself in between different small town stores. You have a pet store / veterinary clinic. There's a store that sells band equipment. There's the post office. There's a small cafe. All of them been closed for hours. There are street lights on, and you just see the waves of rain coming through these beams of light pointed downwards. But you find yourself in the town. Would you like to continue navigating to find the church, or do you want to do anything in this area?
That's a good question. We have our mission or case parameters here. Do we have any contacts in the town that we know about, or persons of interest?
So anything of interest would have been in your dossier, but you don't have any actual contacts here.
Okay. What's the Amish situation like?
You're not in the Amish town.
Okay. I say we probably, shall we investigate the local culture and see some of the salt of the earth?
Hey, if you want to get pie, that's fine. Just say so.
I mean, I would like some pie, but that is neither.
All right.
Neither here.
Is there some sort of a Waffle House or
Yeah.
diner?
There's an old diner that seems to have been probably literally running here since the 40s. And surprisingly, despite being 1 a.m, it's open. And if you would like to go inside, you may do so.
Let's go to the diner and go over our dossier and figure out what we want to do next.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. A tired older woman greets you as you enter, and she seats you at a booth. It's just the two of you in this diner. It seems also to be just her and one other person working at the diner right now. She doesn't really talk much, but she lets you in, tells you the specials, and then leaves you to it to think.
What are the specials?
It's very normal things. A tuna melt is the number one thing, and then underneath that is just like regular sandwiches and things like that.
Hey, well, I'll take the 2 eggs and.
I just want coffee and some sort of dessert.
For sure. As she goes back into the kitchen area and you guys wait, you have your documents, which you may review, you may discuss. You have basically the room to yourself. You don't have any reason to believe you're being overheard.
So, seems that we had this smuggling network that was trying to track down relics and artifacts. Now, the question is, why did it surface here?
Well, I mean, smugglers generally take places things they won't be noticed, and a small hick town in Pennsylvania is probably a good place to hide something you don't want anyone to see.
Yeah, but this was during transit. So it wasn't destination.
It might have just been the easiest place to get it off. Was it being trafficked by train? Could they have just pulled it off the train and this was the closest location?
So, since it's biblical origin, I think the church is a good spot to start. Let's maybe ask our waitress a little bit about the local church. I'm sure we could...
If it's Catholic, I might have some connections.
Can you phone in the Pope?
Yeah. I was like, what does that mean?
I'll just call my dad.
I got the Archbishop on speed dial here.
I do.
All right, let's talk to her. Go to the church, secure a place to stay for the night, and just check out the church in the morning. Then
Every place is secure if you have enough guns.
you see Graham whip out a notebook and write that down. Not in a flattering way, like. Almost a little bit of a like CYA, this is not my fault kind of trail of evidence.
As the waitress comes out and gives you your food, do you want to ask about, lodging for the night?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
You have 2 options. There is an old bed and breakfast, kind of more in the outskirts of town, or you have a newer inn, more like a motel, really. But they're both, doable, and both would still have a room for the night.
I'm assuming the agency is paying for our hotel rooms.
Yeah, this is on the agency's tab, so...
Oh, for sure. This is a mission, so, all expenses are, going to be refunded.
Let's go to the nice one.
Yep, agreed.
Which one's the nice one?
The nicer one.
Well,
which one?
I don't know. You tell me. They came out of your brain. Which one's nicer?
I mean, they're both pretty shitty. So I guess it's in the eye of the beholder. You have like an old rustic charm, but it's old, or like a really kind of like this is not something that people go to vacation for, but it's newer and built a little bit better.
Which one is less likely to have bed bugs?
Yeah, which one does not scream bed bugs?
Probably the bed and breakfast.
Let's go there.
Okay. you go. You follow the directions. You make it your way to the outskirts of town. You find this Victorian-style building, and as you pull up, you go into the entrance. You grab a room, and for the night, you are able to relax. The next morning comes. It's up to you how you would like to proceed. You don't really have much of a way of knowledge of the town in itself as far as what's around, but you are in the bed and breakfast. There does seem to be some people who are also staying here, but it's mostly unoccupied.
Okay.
Let's say there's 20 bedrooms, and probably 3 of them have people. One of which being you.
Okay.
Oh no, 2 of which being us, because we're not sharing a bedroom.
Yeah,
Oh.
absolutely not.
Well, now. So now you have 4 bedrooms. You are half of the occupancy here. So your options are either to go out on your own, talk to anybody else in this room, or not in this room, in this building, or perhaps talk to the proprietor.
I'll talk to the proprietor.
Yes, I'm gonna sit. Is there like a sitting room area?
Yes, for sure. There's definitely a living room area. It looks very much like a grandma's living room type deal with floral print on the furniture, things with doilies on them. It's homey.
Reminds me of home. Is anybody hanging out down there that I can just like listen to?
Currently, not really, because there were only the 2 other rooms to even be in the room, and they're not dwelling right now. In the meantime, however, for Graham,
Is this kind of in the middle of nowhere, or is it in town, or like?
you are on the outskirts of town, so it's not in the complete middle of nowhere, but it's also far from the hubbub of the actual town itself.
Okay. I guess I'll just follow along my fellow agent Harper and listen to what's going on, see what other information he picks up.
Harper, you see this old woman behind the counter of the bed and breakfast, and she sees you approach. She says, I hope you slept well.
Yes.
Good. Can I help you with anything?
Yeah, I was wondering if you could direct us, to the local church. Do you know where that is?
Of course. There are different ones, but I'm assuming you mean the one with the big clock tower. And she gives you a short map, which she draws out on a napkin. And it is a very winding path to get to it, but as you get the map, you feel comfortable that you could follow this and get to the church.
Okay. I'd like to try to do kind of like whatever would be an appeal to authority, like maybe flash the badge a little bit and kind of say like, oh yeah, like what do you think of that church, and see how she reacts.
She says, I go there every Sunday.
Is it what kind of church is it?
Protestant.
Oh, okay. Protestant. What denomination?
Lutheran.
Oh, okay. All right. Let's see. I think I would have him probably try to get her impression of the church. Maybe be like, is it one of those phony church Easter and Christmas only ones, or is there a pretty good congregation?
I see. So you're asking about the congregation.
Yeah.
She... okay, for that, I'm going to ask for a check. I will give you the choice. You could either give me a occult check.
I mean, I like the implications of that. Protestantism equals occult.
I mean, hey. You can give me an occult check, a fast check, or if you are trying to trick her, you could do, like, fast talk.
Since I'm there and my occult's 100, can I just do the occult check?
Sure.
Okay.
With a 52, you're good. I think your points are supposed to cap out at 90, because there should be a chance that you can fail something.
Yeah, no, I got 100 in occult and 100 in handgun.
You were born in a hurricane, so you're good. You got it. You're charmed.
All right. Well, regardless, a 52 is a success. And she says, yeah, the population here is still pretty devout. Especially the older members, parents and grandparents mostly. The kids aren't as much as we used to be, but we're all coming from similar backgrounds here, and a lot of us come from the old German immigrants that came to Pennsylvania way back in the 18th century. So it's a good congregation. They actually do come on, if not a weekly, at least a monthly. But there's a good sizable people there.
Okay. I can't really think of any other questions right out the gate. I mean, it seems like the church would be the biggest investigatory spot.
Okie dokie. So it sounds like you guys are off to the church.
We're off to see the wizard.
As you leave this place, what I would like from the two of you is a check, and it's going to be a stealth check.
Oh, okay.
Ooh. All right, so with 2 failures of the stealth, you leave the bed and breakfast. As you follow the scrawled out map that you found on a napkin, you find your way to the church. Now, it is a Saturday, and they do have Saturday service, but it's not happening right now. So right now you find yourself outside this Lutheran church. You find the big door out in the front, and you may enter at your leisure.
All right. Celeste, would you like to go first? I mean, this is, you're a papist after all. Like, you want to declare war here?
They're Lutherans. You go first. Also, age before beauty.
Fair. All right. I throw open the church doors, almost in a semi-defiant way.
I'm jokingly whispering, "Sanctuary, sanctuary."
All right. Well, a short distance from your parked SUV, and deep within the shadow of St. Luke's Lutheran Church, a dimly lit office flickers with the glow of a single lamp. The room is modest, worn wooden shelves lined with old hymnals and religious texts. Sitting behind the desk, there's a pastor, Isaac Fletcher. This is a grizzled, balding man, late 60s. He's fiddling nervously with a cross hanging from his neck. Across from him, and leaning forward in a high-backed chair, you see another man. His eyebrows are furrowed in concentration, and his glasses rest precariously on the tip of his nose as he pores over centuries-old book spread out on the pastor's desk. This is Dr. Edward McFall. McFall's sharp academic demeanor contrasts starkly with the room's humble surroundings. He is a man out of his place here, yet also right in his nature. His world is rooted in ancient ruins and dusty tomes, and yet this small-town chapel suits him fine. As you guys enter, I heard that, Graham, you just kind of opened the door wildly. How much are you paying attention to the conversation that might have had been happening had you not known who was in here?
Very closely. This was an element of surprise.
So, very closely listening as you throw open the doors wildly.
How about he's throwing open the doors and I'm listening?
Sure. You hear the ending of a conversation. You hear Pastor Fletcher. You see Dr. McFall. I don't know where else to turn. People in town are talking. They're scared. There's strange things here have been happening ever since that box showed up. The kind of things that can't be explained. And at this point, Edward may respond.
Well, what was in the box? That's just what I gotta know before I can even tell you anything. And besides, just superstitious nonsense. I wouldn't worry about it too much. Come on.
Well, they said it was an artifact, biblical. At least that's what the man who brought it here claimed, but then they disappeared. Since then, things haven't been quite the same.
You don't know where the box is? You have anything you can tell me about it? And I kind of look up to see these two other folks. They're dressed in suits, or is it fair to picture like a Mulder and Scully-esque outfit in them, with them, on them?
Yeah, I would, at least for Graham, yeah.
Think slightly witchy, but still corporate.
Corporate witch, got it. Okay.
He's about to respond to you, but at this point he sees the two agents walk in and he stops speaking. He says, hello, can I help the two of you?
Yeah, what box showed up?
I'll let you take care of this. I gotta go back. I mean, it's a Saturday,
this
but I got papers to grade.
Autism, the federal agent.
So
There should
I'm
be
sorry.
a roll for that.
Yes, give me an autism check.
Autism check.
Or
That would,
success.
let's see. I think that's divination, or is that no clairvoyance? Clairvoyance is that would fall under.
Well, just to clarify, Edward, did you say that you were leaving?
Well, I mean, he's clearly got some guests now. He's got other stuff to handle. Like, you know where to find me. I've got exams to grade and stuff like that. You know, can never stop. There's always something to do.
Okay. So as Edward makes his way out of the room, the priest greets the two of you and says, yes, there was a box. A group of men brought just a couple days ago.
Oh, what group of men?
With that, I think I need another check from you.
Were these men at work? Like what? A hard hat? No, like
Did they have
a tasteless
without
headdress?
hats?
Did they dance if they wanted to?
Everybody flapping your hands.
Clap your hands.
Either give me a fast talk, or if you want, you can do an intimidate.
I think I'll try and intimidate, actually.
Okay.
Agent Dale Cooper would not approve.
That is a failure.
All right. So you ask him, and you can see that he is holding back, but you also can see that he's holding back because he's not confident enough to give you an answer, not because he's trying to hide it.
Okay. Interesting.
He says, I don't know. I had never seen them before, and now I can't find them again. But they brought a box, and he actually passes you to leave the office and go back into the main church area, and he points to like the back wall of the church where there's just an empty space, and he points over there and he says, they left the box there, but they disappeared and then the box disappeared, so don't quite know.
What did this box look like?
Oh, the box was just this large wooden crate. There was hay coming out of it, or whatever they used to stuff it. I didn't bother opening the box. They told me not to open the box.
At this time, when they're looking over there, they'll see that while I am like heading out, since this was on the way out, Edward does sort of like take like a quick knee and sort of touch the ground where this was.
Okay. In that case, give me your check.
I'm checking. Where did my character sheet go? I scroll, and I push the button, don't you know? And I got an extreme
An
success.
extreme success.
Whoa!
All right. Okay.
Just so everybody listening knows, this extreme success is brought to you by Mountain Dew. Code
Unlike most extreme successes.
Okay, hold on. I have to put something together really quick.
Oopsie, dude. I didn't even know I was going to be in here, Adam. This is your fault.
I know. And I didn't expect you to get a 18 out of 90 on that, so hey.
Okay.
Well, at least
well,
not
this
the
is
7 nat
going
ones.
We've had a lot of fun here tonight, but seriously, don't open church doors.
So you guys
all
are
this
seeing
is-
me take a knee, and I think you guys might have a dossier on me. I'm not sure.
I think we do.
Or at least you have information about me, yeah.
While you're all doing this, I'm dragging my hands along some of the books in this room very slowly. I probably look absolutely insane, and I'm fine with that. And then when he says, I've never met them before, the box was over there, I want to be like, do you make a habit of letting strange men store boxes in your rectory?
You're asking that as you're watching a strange man touch where the box was.
Yes.
He says no, but they did claim something about sanctuary, and I didn't quite want to put them off, and I don't know. I do wish I hadn't allowed it.
I'm gonna go observe the doctor touching the ground immediately. That sparks my interest.
Sure. So as I finish this line,
Yeah.
Edward,
Depending on the flood of shit that he's sending me, it's gonna take a long time or a little time. Like,
Yeah.
Edward. Yeah.
as this is happening, Edward, you got an extreme success. How does Edward outwardly appear?
So, this is something that he's done for a really long time, and he's hidden it for a long while as him being rather clever, almost Sherlock Holmes-esque. So, it's not like eyes rolling in the back of his head, but like he is sort of like the outside sounds. Any footfalls or words sound like they're from underwater, and he's just sort of like super focused on a few spots, but he's moving his hands as if he's trying to like discern something, like sift through clues.
Okay. All right. So you're going to get a series of flashes, Edward. Dr. McFall.
From the priest? Sorry.
No.
No, you're far too old for that.
Oh yes.
As you go down, you touch it. The world around you begins to blur. The dim office off to the side kind of becomes shadow, and as your fingertips rest on the surface of this floor where there once was a wooden crate, the air almost feels like it grows cold, and your mind is pulled back.
Mhm.
Then you get a flash, vision, hasty, sharpening. You're no longer in the church. You are standing in the nave, and the dim light of candles. The heavy double doors that are creaking open. Two figures enter, their shadows stretching across the floor. The first is a man, tall, broad-shouldered, wearing a long coat, brushing the ground as he moves. Face obscured, hidden beneath the rim of a wide-brimmed hat. He's deliberate, he's cold, but he's commanding. The second figure, a woman, slight in stature, but moves with purpose, cradling something close to her chest, something small, wrapped, bundled up. Her eyes are darting around the church. Another flash. Your vision shifts. The crate, there is now a crate, being dragged across the stone floor of the church. Rough wood scraping against tiles. There's a man speaking, a voice of a low, rumbling whisper, but you cannot make out the words. Eventually, as you try to focus with your extreme success, you actually do get a line. You say, "Keep it here, until we can arrange our next transport." Sybil trusts you, doesn't she? Don't betray that trust. The name echoes in your mind. It's a name you've heard, but you don't know. Another flash. Time bends again. The crate sits at the church for hours, a couple days even. And then something shifts. You see the crate being lifted by other hands. Hands wearing gloves. Careful, quick, but a different figure. His features, cloaked in shadow. A new figure, moving with precision. He's a professional. He passes the altar. You catch a glimpse. A brief flash. Candlelight. He's emotionless. He is someone who knows how to make things disappear. Another flash, a final vision. You feel the weight of the crate being loaded onto the back of a dark van, the church's doors being closed behind, and the driver going off into the night, leaving nothing but the faint echo of footsteps and a lingering stench of dread. Now, back to reality, your vision snaps back to the present. The world around you returns to the quiet stillness of this church. Your hand trembles slightly as you pull away from where the crate once was.
Deep breath in, kind of stands up. Did Graham come to me, or were you just watching me?
Uh,
I believe. Me too.
yeah. I walked right towards you. Like, Graham would have known enough to be like, well, this is weird. Let's see what
I
this
walked over immediately as well.
Oh, hey, sorry. I just gotta get going. I'm skipped breakfast this morning. I'm feeling a little peckish.
Can I grab him by the shoulder, not roughly, but with a small amount of pressure, and just look him dead in the face and say, "Welcome back, friend."
Hey, personal space, please. I don't like people touching me.
Mm.
He kind of just tries to, like, not like pulling away, but just.
Oh, I
warm
let him
his
like
shoulder
shrug
at
my
it.
arm off, but I'm
Yeah.
still just like staring at him.
As am I. Graham's just staring.
Alright, cool. There's nothing else I can help you guys with.
Before Edward tries to make an escape, could you please give me a biblical lore check?
Oh, I certainly could, sir. It's not going to be good. You want it biblical lore? You don't want like history or anything like that? It's specifically biblical lore. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, doke. Let's go. What did I get?
Ooh, you got a success.
Fuck yeah, I did.
Also, I'm realizing religion is a check that I could have done.
Yeah,
Um,
so we talked about lore versus the religion or the history or
Yes.
whatever. 'Cause there's a lot of overlap. It's weird.
So the thing that you kind of get as almost like an aftertaste, when you have like energy drinks and it's like, oh yeah, I got all this energy, but also in the back of your mouth it just tastes funny.
Yeah, it tastes like pennies and batteries. Yeah.
Yeah. So after this experience, after touching this and using your ability, you kind of have like the psychic leftover taste, and you just feel like Old Testament. It's kind of just in your mind without you having to focus on it.
Cool.
As that occurs, Edward, do you attempt to leave?
Yeah, sorry folks, I know you have something to do with What the hell do you call somebody who's the head of a Lutheran church? Is it father? I don't know.
I'm not.
I said that. I realized this. What's that?
Nothing.
God man.
Yeah. Well, no, I'm not gonna call him God, man.
God man.
You clearly have some business with the father. He wanted me to come in, but I'll come back later. I just got some stuff
no,
to
no,
do.
no, no, please don't. I think we may need to speak with both of you.
I can't possibly know why I would want to speak to you. Do you have identification or anything?
Graham just
Oh
lets
yeah, we whip out
lets the
our
wallet
badges.
drop. Yeah.
There we go.
Already
There we go.
already had it in the
Series
air.
first. Series first. Whipped out the badges. There we go. Oh, Agent Harper.
Yes.
And you, ma'am, you have way too long of a name, Agent Celeste. Okay.
Yes.
What
So
can
I do believe we need to speak with both of you. I'll let my friend here start out.
Am I being detained? Is that what's going on here?
Legally, no. Personally, no. I want to ask a couple questions. No one's in any trouble. We're literally just trying to figure some stuff out.
Don't know what I can
And
help
you
with.
s-
I'm
you
just a college
seem-
professor. I'm just a college professor.
Yeah.
Like, I really
Well,
don't know what I could.
You're a college professor, and I'm a short woman. It's fine. Everybody has their specialties.
That was oddly self-sexist.
Yeah, you know, whatever.
Visionary of
See,
yourself.
people overlook me because I'm small and angry, which means I get shit done, so I'm fine with it.
Like Wolverine.
However, would you guys like to just sit down and have a chat, and we can go from there? But you're not being detained. No one is under arrest. No one is in any trouble.
I'd really like to know what it's about before I say yes.
I think
it's
it
about
might
a
be about that
smuggling
fucking
ring.
crate.
Yeah. It's about a smuggling ring and your potential involvement in it.
A smuggling ring? What?
I've never been involved in smuggling. Is
Well,
this
that's
about?
what we'd like to find out.
Wait a minute.
Are you talking drugs?
Is this
Something like that.
I cleared this with
Oh.
the NSF and all that. We filed all the appropriate stuff. We didn't smuggle that from the excavation site. It was stolen. I was cleared of all possible charges. Like,
Oh, no,
I'm
no, no,
getting
no, no.
funding now as it is.
You
They told me
estimated
that-
drugs?
No, Father.
We're not interested in Hobby Lobby. You're fine.
No, but they said it was fine. That it wasn't.
There's a little bit of a snafu, and that is definitely a lie. I want to intimidate or at least imply there are some bureaucratic problems to
Go ahead and-
get them to talk.
And make a lie poo, and I want to oppose it with my detecting lie poo. How do I detect lies? Is it computer use?
No. They don't have an insight check.
Credit
Dude,
rating?
Yeah, really?
Too many fucking skills.
Dodge?
Just immediately Graham wires like Equifax. Like,
You can give me a track check. There you go. Oh,
oh,
I did do
okay.
it.
you did very good.
Wow. Had
You
a 10%
both-
chance.
you both rolled very close to your limit, but you both passed. So I don't know how this would happen. If
Well-
2 successes, I guess there's going to be a give and take. So you can talk to
Yeah.
each other, but there's a little bit of, you both kind of understand, but also not fully.
Okay, so for give and take, I guess I would probably like to know just a little bit about this thing that he was cleared of.
That I was cleared of?
Yeah. What was the? You said everything was fine and you weren't in trouble for importing. It was stolen. You said.
Okay. Mind if I get my wallet out of my jacket pocket?
Sure.
Reaching in for my wallet, nice and slow. And I pull it out, and I pull out a card, and I hand it to him. It's like, Professor Edward McFauld, Department of Archaeology, blah, 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 blah. It's got contact information in my office on it. Look, you can set up a time to interview me and question me about that sort of stuff at my office. I usually like to have my lawyer present just because, keep myself safe. But your feds, you can, here's my card, and you can just run my name and it'll come up. I was in the papers. What year is this? Is it right now, Adam?
It's about now.
Okay, so like this happened about 4 years ago, and shouldn't be too hard for you to find. What agent? What agency was your badge with? Are you feds or?
Something like that. And then he just closes it.
Do I clock anything that was on the badge, Adam? Or
You can give me a. I gotta get used
Oh,
to these
spot
skills.
hidden. There's a
There you
spot
go,
hidden.
spot hidden. Yeah, give me a spot
All right.
hidden.
I'm not good at spot hiddens.
Wow,
I can't
you're
believe I
not.
said that. I can't believe I said that. I have 90 points in spot hidden, and I rolled a 91.
You saw a badge, and
Wait.
Yes.
I'm gonna spend luck.
All right, spend 1 point of luck. Remove it from your thing.
So do I edit the max? Is that how
Yep.
I do it?
Yep.
Okay.
You just take one away. I
Cool.
think. Do they have it where you can just do it from the main page? Because I know it's got the. No, it doesn't. Okay.
No, I have to do the
Yeah.
edit mode. Which
Because I know there's like a reset button, so I didn't know if there was like a edit.
Well, I
button.
pushed the reset button. No, I just edited my permanent max.
Okay.
So that point's gone. Yeah.
Okie dokie. So in that case, you get
All I'm looking
a
for is the
success.
agency, like name
Yes.
or.
It is under the Department of Defense. You didn't see the exact branch, but it's under the Department of Defense.
Okay. McFall is definitely terrified now. DOD, what the fuck? Yeah.
Can I roll to persuade him to stay?
Would you like to do this as persuading or intimidating?
Persuading.
All right, give me
Because I honestly, I think. Sorry, give you what?
a charm check, please.
Well, I have persuade of
Wait.
40.
Oh, is there a persuade? Okay.
Yeah.
God damn it, there's too many speaking skills. Give me a persuade.
You need to have the rulebook open at all times with like the
Yeah.
explanation of all of them.
All right. You make a jumbled excuse, but it doesn't seem to land.
I've given him my card. I have said that I'm going to go get some breakfast at a diner, and I'm.
Why don't we join you?
But you have
Me
an
too,
appointment
Father.
with. As I'm backing out of the front door, you got an appointment with the father. You got to look at the crime scene, and
I have an appointment with no one.
Yeah, we can divide and conquer this one.
Hmm?
I give. How do I communicate subtly to my partner and have them pick that up because we've worked before for a long time and know how we operate?
I'll just give it to you. I think that
Okay.
the two of you have worked together. You know each other enough.
All right, so this is definitely divide the people and get their stories and see if they don't add up.
How about I leave my incredibly autistic friend here to talk to the father, and we go get some pancakes? Because I'm pretty certain what we're investigating doesn't have anything to do with your previous charges.
What I'm
Oh, yeah.
actually going to do is I'm going to intervene here. I'm going to just say that there's a kind of a cutaway. There doesn't have to necessarily be shown the two of you continuing on, but outside of the church, going back into that town.
See this corporate witch.
Well, you'll get there.
Okay.
Back in town's main street, the rain had ended last night, but there's still a mist leading into the afternoon, and the sky is a pure dull gray. There's a kind of a muted glow over the whole main street. Most of the shops are closed for the day, but there is a modest fading diner, and there's a woman standing inside, seemingly at ease beneath a wide-brimmed hat and a trench coat, her dark hair peeking out, slicked around her misty drizzle. And she has these sharp eyes calculating. There's a few passerby, but she eventually sees someone. This is a woman, and no one knows her name. However, a couple of the locals have heard a name. Perhaps it was Marianne, perhaps it was something else. But it is supposedly a visiting private eye hired by a family from a neighboring town to find a missing person, or so she says. She's leaning against a brick wall. There's a cool mist clinging to her skin, and there is a single townsfolk next to her. This is Gerald Hastings. He lives in town. He steps out of the diner, and he's holding a cup of coffee. He's a man in his 40s. He's been weathered by farm work and life in the small town, and as he takes a glance at her, his brow furrows. And he says, "Evening, miss. I ain't seen you around these parts. You new in town?"
Hey, good evening. I assume you're a local here?
Yep. Been here all my life.
That's great. Yeah, I am new in town. For work? Would you mind if I asked you some questions?
I don't mind. Sure, go ahead.
Alrighty. Have you been hearing anything interesting lately going on?
There's a pumpkin patch carving coming up soon.
Very cute. No, I'm talking any missing persons, any sort of whispers of crime, or, anything that might worry you or your family?
Ain't had no missing folk around here recently. At least not that I heard of. We're a quiet lot.
Alright. Well, would you recommend me somewhere I can, get a nice breakfast?
Right behind me. And he kind of raises his coffee.
Alright, much obliged. Thank you, sir. Carry on.
You enter into the diner. You find your seat, and not even 5 minutes later, a pair enters. An unconventional pair. This man who looks very academic and a witchy federal agent.
Halloween is right around the corner.
Yeah, the academic man oddly has like driving gloves on for no apparent.
And what I would like from Sybil is a check as you kind of just see them, because you are scanning basically to find people. This would not be necessarily a sleight of hand. I'm gonna say this would be, I don't know, give me the praise check.
Praise?
Under A.
Would it be could it be spot hidden?
Sure, give me a spot hidden. It's not really hidden, they just walked in, but hey.
Let's go!
Alright, a success is a success.
Just barely. It's weird they don't have like a normal I saw it, but they have like an I hear it.
Yeah. Alright, so Sybil, as you see these two come in, you can tell that neither of them are locals. However, they're here. And you can also tell that the two of them, they don't have a chemistry. Like, they're both together, but they're like they either don't know each other or very recently got to see each other.
Well, Adam, we have a chemistry. Like oil and water. We have a chemistry.
I guess, on the very literal sense, yes.
Okay.
But yes, you catch that. It's up to you whether you want to kind of watch from a distance, or if at this point you want to come and approach them as they sit down.
I want to watch from a distance first.
All right. As you sit with your big wet hat, the two of you sit down.
That sounds vaguely sexual in a way. I don't really know.
My big wet hat.
That warning.
That word "vague" is doing a lot of work there. That was just sexual to me. I don't know.
In my trench coat, in my dark.
All I'm hearing is my love language from the GM.
Mysteries, big wet hats.
Ooh. Talk slower, Daddy. Let's go. All right.
Listening.
Gotta really enunciate the wet.
Ooh.
It's a big wet hat.
Oh my
You just really like 3-letter words, don't you?
And they're very quick to come out. So
Hey yo.
Yes, I am. Okay.
I've done this to myself.
Yeah, you did.
You created this, Adam.
I did.
This
I
is
did.
your fault.
Literally, you did.
I can't complain. So, Edward, Helen, you are together at this diner. The floor is yours.
Wait, before they do that, I would like to. I would just like to say that I'm going to sit maybe like 20 or so feet away, very mysteriously and sexily, and then order a coffee. Under my big wet hat, of course.
Please, miss, this is a family restaurant.
I'm not doing anything obscene.
With that in your scene. Now, this is unlike last night, whereas last night when you were in the diner, you were very much alone. And this day, it is maybe like 11 a.m., and there's a good amount of people here. There's the very end of breakfast and the very beginning of lunch, so there's a good amount of people other than these two tables. But you have the floor.
I sit down and I look at him and say, order anything you want, I'm going to expense it. And then I grab a notepad and a pen out of my little briefcase, and I write, "Tell me everything you know about the box," and I slide it over to him.
I just kind of hold up one finger while trying to make eye contact with the waitress as she's walking around. And I'm holding up the finger not to the waitress, but to the young woman
To me.
across the booth. Yep.
The waitress sees you and says, what can I get you, hon?
I'm gonna be a little bit of a pain in the ass, and I'm sorry about this.
Oh,
Can I get 2 eggs, one over easy, one over hard? I want
Okay.
hash browns, extra crispy, bacon just barely cooked, a piece of toast with butter on it, and a black coffee that never runs out.
I knew I liked you.
She rapidly writes this on her little notepad, and she says, okay, the King Leopold. And for you, miss?
Exactly the same thing.
2 King Leopolds. That's not what I said.
I kind of like Lingopold better.
King Leopold's.
I could tell you all about King Lingopold. He was part of my master's thesis. Anyway,
She writes that down, jots it down, gives you a smile, and she's in her other hand already has the black coffee, so she pours you your first cups and walks away.
yeah. He does this little trick where he looks like he's stirring the coffee with a spoon and then lets go, and the spoon just sort of stands straight up and down in the cup.
My dad does that.
My grandfather taught me that.
Mm.
Anyway, yeah. Well, it's some thick mud here. I just found out about the crate just like you did this morning.
Paper.
He takes the pen and writes,
Don't worry, it's clean.
I just found out about the crate this morning, just like you, in ridiculously nice handwriting. And slides it back over and sets the pen back on top.
And then I write "go on" and slide it back.
And now he turns the piece of paper upside down, and like every teacher can, he begins to write upside down so that the student can read while I'm writing something. It is a weird skill you develop. He writes, no, seriously, what more do you want? Do you want to know about the investigation on me previously? Question mark.
I can find out about that quite easily, and frankly, if you can help me with this, I might be able to help you with that.
I don't even know. Well, that investigation's done. I'm fine. I just didn't expect DOD. Like, what the hell do you want with this little town?
I mean, the investigation might be done, but it still exists vis-a-vis paperwork.
Sure, that's fine. I mean, I'm getting funding from the agencies again anyway.
Okay.
I was cleared.
Here's the thing. I'm writing all this. I'm looking for a box. A very specific box. And it seems like maybe it was in that church. So if you can tell me anything you know about it, even the most blasé, dumbest shit you can think of, it might help me.
What on earth would be in said box that you would care about, that a church would care about, that I would know about?
You probably know more than I do. And what the box looked like, roughly what size it was, legit anything.
I never saw the box.
Did the father explain to you what it looked like?
I had literally kind of just gotten there. He was explaining to me just some hokum small town shit. The bad stuff was happening now that the box was gone or when it came. I don't know. It's all
Tell
superstitious.
me whatever you heard. Well, is helpful to me. And that's helpful to you.
Words come out that I don't know. That Edward knows. Oh, whatever the father said to him.
Okay.
For a
Wah,
second there,
wah, 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 wah.
Speaking in tongues? Did the box get him?
That's the
It always
crazy part.
does.
I, ADHD, forgot what we just said. What was the question?
Everything the father told him about the box.
Oh, okay.
Which you gave me nothing about, so I don't know.
Yeah, so basically, large wooden crate, very stereotypical, filled with some type of stuffing. He didn't look any further into it to see what was inside the box. The box in itself was probably about 4 to 5 feet on each side, a perfect cube. Very plain, unmarked, but scuffed at least on the bottom.
And then any of the weird stuff happening around town since it disappeared?
So that was told to Edward, and it was mostly just like, oh, people are scared, but he hasn't quite picking up on what those things might have been.
So I have a visual description of the box and a vague idea that people in town are a little weirded out by it.
So you're telling me that the DoD sent you down here for a box, or what was in the box?
At this point, I'm not 100% sure.
Edwin puts a finger up to his lips and points at the paper, so she writes it down.
Who knows?
So you guys are literally looking for something and you don't know what you're looking for.
Yeah. I mean, that's a large portion of my job is
See,
my boss says, find a box. I find a box.
I mean, we can go to a shoe store. I can get you a box.
Oh, I have several boxes, but apparently I have to bring back a very specific box.
I would say then that due to the vagaries of your assignment, I don't think I can help you.
Well, I do have your business card, yes?
Business card's a strong word. That's just... Sure.
Your contact information.
Yeah.
Perfect. Excellent. All right, I'm going to hoover up my breakfast, throw money on the table to pay for both of them, and then head back to the church.
I'm just going to slowly enjoy mine, take out some grating that I have in my side satchel, and enjoy that bottomless cup of coffee.
So going back to the portion where you were still hoovering up your breakfast, you haven't finished quite yet. Also, point, just to clarify as the DM, just to make sure I understand you as a player, not you actually, Helen. Are you purposely being cagey or do you forget?
Well, no, I am at this point, I don't know if they knew what was in the box, so I don't want to be like, hey, magical item that could destroy the world.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
Her character knows that though, right?
Yes.
Okay. Cool.
Yes, but she has not said anything. I just wanted to make sure, because I can only hear what's being said.
Does she have to make some sort of deception check, like just in case it slips, and I might notice it and not know what the truth is, but know that she's bullshitting me?
Yeah. I guess what would that be?
I wouldn't be actively lie detecting. It would be like
yeah.
Either
I guess give me a persuade check to make it seem accurate. Hey, extreme success.
Cool. Yeah, so as far as I know, they sent her on a dipshit job. Okay.
The sky is green. Water is hot.
It happens sometimes.
In addition to that, before anyone leaves, Sybil, over in the corner, you see all of that happening. You only really hear a small portion because most of it was written on a napkin.
No, there was a notepad. I'm a well-prepared business witch.
Oh, there you go.
I was about to say, I'm like, how much of that did I get? Because I noticed, they were like just passing notes back and forth to each other, which in of itself is rather suspicious.
Because that is what I was going to say. Is that really sticks out to you, especially to you. So if you wish
my
to...
gloves stay on the entire time I'm eating.
Also, when I get outside, I'm going to light all of this paper on fire.
In your head already. You don't need the paper.
Yeah. So before she leaves, as she's finishing, you can tell that whatever that was has ended. Do you continue to watch, or do you intervene, or what is your next, where's your mind at?
I think right now I would definitely pin them as persons of interest.
Okay.
And especially as I see that once they finish their little exchange, they're kind of splitting up. I think right now I'm just trying to decide on which one I want to kind of question, because I'm not sure. I don't think she would just walk up to both of them. She would probably start with one and then the other.
My ass is planted firmly in the booth.
Yes, that's what I was going to suggest too.
Okay.
All right. So with that, we have Helen Celeste finishing her meal, leaving some money, and leaving the store to immediately commit arson. No.
It's not arson if I own it. It might be insurance fraud, depending on how you own it.
If you expense to report your burnt thing.
You get $2.
The federal government.
Hey, you never know.
Spiral bound mead notebook. Dollar Tree has expenses for you.
Excuse me, it is not spiral bound. It is flat black bound, like the old school one from the 80s.
Okay.
So the one thing I would ask then, after you do burn your paper, are you going back to your colleague, or are you going anywhere else?
Straight back to the church.
All right. So we will come back to the two of you in the booth. We're going to go back to the church. We have our resident skeptic with a priest.
Bless you,
How?
child.
For Cameron, I want to beat him up. Like, let's go.
Oh, good lord.
That's logically impossible.
Where's
The
your god now, priest?
the priest looks at you and says, well, what can I do for you? You said you had questions?
Yes, we're investigating some pretty dangerous folks. And I believe that they are responsible for an international crimes and transportation of illicit goods. And it sounds, the description that you mentioned about the people that came and dropped off a box, we believe the box to be smuggled property of the very dangerous variety.
Are you talking like terrorists?
Something like that, yes.
Oh, well, I do not want to help a terrorist. Yes, ask anything you would like. I'm on America's side.
Sir, I'm just imagining this cowardly priest, and then all of a sudden he just goes full 9/11 booster. Like, he has not watched any news since 2001.
Nope.
He looked you dead in the eye and he goes, jet fuel doesn't burn hot enough to melt steel."
I'll say, so obviously, myself and the organization I represent would appreciate your cooperation. Could you give us any extra information about these people, where they came from, what they look like, any of your interactions with them?
Our interactions were very minimal. Now that you mention it, one of them did seem vaguely Middle Eastern-y.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
And they definitely had that type of accent. But the other one, the woman, she didn't talk as much. So.
I'm just waiting for him to say more casual racism. I see. Would you be able to provide a description of what they looked like, and I will presumably let's magic that into whatever notebook I'm writing into.
Sure. I think for this priest, he also didn't really get a strong view of it, and also he wasn't really being paranoid in the moment enough to be like, oh, I'm gonna memorize these people's faces. Yeah, he basically just says something along the lines of, the man had very broad shoulders and tan skin. The woman was a little bit more petite and paled skin, and both of them had, at the time, large coats and head coverings to protect against the rain type deal, so they didn't really get too much personal information as far as a description, other than base body type and skin color.
Okay. What time did this go down, and how did you interact with them? Who reached out first?
They just showed up. They parked in the parking lot and came in. The man was shouting. It was about 8 p.m. on a Wednesday, which is very, not normal. So when they came in, I was a little flustered, I will admit. And they came in, they pleaded sanctuary, and I'll admit I've never actually had to deal with that, so I didn't really know how that worked. And they came in, they dropped off their stuff, and then they left. And I didn't quite understand that either, because if they wanted sanctuary, they have to stay here. But they didn't. So I was stuck with a box. I didn't want to touch it. And then the next morning, they came back again, made sure it was there. They seemed to kind of be fighting, and then they left. And then the next evening, when I came back into the church to check on things, the box had already left. I assumed they had taken it.
You make a frequent habit of letting people store things in your church?
Oh, you should see the basement.
Yes, let's.
Yeah, he shows you the basement. It's filled with boxes. He says some of this is Christmas decorations, but a lot of these are just boxes that the congregation had asked if they could store here, and I didn't say no.
Okay. Do I see anything out of sorts? Anything that looks, piques my interest? Anything relic-y?
Sure, give me a spot hidden check. Spot hidden's a 23, so you got a 6, which is a strong success. looking around, you see things that shouldn't be in the basement of a church. There's very obviously there is some type of weapon, just like a rifle, or not even a rifle, like a shotgun, just kind of up on a shelf of sorts. For the most part, these are just boxes, so you don't quite see what's in the boxes, but just the idea of, there's a large gun just sitting there on a shelf unattended, kind of indicates that really anything could theoretically be here.
Okay, so I have no real reason, or at least I should say, his story of being a weird, nervous, racist man, pack rat, seems to make sense. Okay, all right. Let's see if there's anything else. I don't suppose there are any security cameras in the church or in the grounds.
We had one at one point, and teenagers spray painted over the lens, but that was maybe 2 or 3 years ago, so I don't think that's related.
Okay. Graham does a half smile, mainly to just be like, "Oh God."
However, I do think there's the store that's across the street has an outdoor security camera. Obviously, they won't see anything inside the church, but you'll at least see them come in and out. I can tell you the date and time if you want to cross-reference.
I was just about to ask if there's a convenience store across the street or a gas station. That works.
So in that case, you now have the information. And after you've explored the basement and come back, Helen Celeste shows up in the church.
Why, hello!
Hello. Hello, partner of mine. I have found a lead at a security camera.
Oh, goody.
How was your luck with the nutty professor?
Cagey.
Ah, to be expected. What was he doing by touching the ground?
Well, I didn't take his gloves off the whole meal. So if I had to guess, he probably has some sort of touch... No, I forget what it's called. You touch something and you see things about it.
Ah, another thing that doesn't exist.
Well, I'm sorry you can't experience fun, but let's go follow this lead.
And Graham just is like, "Yep, all right, we're at it again."
Where are we going? Where are we going? Where are we going? I'm just jumping up and down.
As you guys exit the church and you look across the street, you see an adult film store called The Second Coming.
Nice. Nice.
Love it.
I love that.
He has risen.
Nailed!
For the last and final time.
I know where the horde is.
Oh my lord. And as you guys, you go in, you ask for access to the videotapes, they give it to you, and you do get a license plate for a van, a dark van, with tinted windows, so that should stick out a little bit in a small town like this.
Okay.
As you guys do that, I'm going to go back to the diner. Sybil, did you approach this man grading papers?
I sure do. I'm gonna walk on over with my mug of coffee.
Is Sybil objectively attractive?
Yes.
Okay.
She's a
She's
bad
a big
bitch.
wet hat.
Yeah, she's got a big wet hat.
We've
dark
already
trench
covered
coat.
this.
All right.
You guys
one
know as good
thing
at my
about
love
this
language as Adam is. Like,
My
about
gender is bad bitch.
Yes, literally on her sheet.
Mm-hmm.
Gender
She's just
is
leaning over the table. Would you like to touch my big wet hat?
This is a rainforest hat. This thing is dripping. Condensation.
I just tilt my head a little, and then some water just splashes.
It's like a dog just got out of the water and
P.
spritz
Diddy
it.
ain't got nothing on this hat.
Oh my lord. Just a large water
waterfall.
droplet
Just a
right into your coffee.
radial sprinkler on the lawn.
Anywho,
One
did
second.
this?
1 second.
I'm
Just
trying to
editing
contain
to
the-
clap
the
you back
number.
in.
The
There.
janitor
Cut.
the janitor is propping up one of those like caution wet floor. He's getting out the mop.
She leaves a trail wherever she goes.
Like a
Like a
snail.
slug.
wasn't gonna say it.
Okay. Okay. Sorry, I'm trying to contain the gremlin energy. Symbol's actually a very serious character.
The bad thing is there's clearly like some kind of riff counteraction here where it's just gonna cascade. So yeah,
I know.
before because we're just gonna keep doing it. We're just gonna keep riffing on this giant, just
big
throbbing wet hat.
Did you say throbbing?
Engorged even.
Oh my god.
This engorged wet hat.
Is it veiny?
It's naturally, I assume. I mean, how can the hat sustain itself?
So Sybil, you have approached the man.
I'm sorry. Okay. Oh, I really wish I played with you guys earlier. This is so much fun. Oh my god.
The rain in Spain mostly stays on Sybil's brain.
I'm trying
God,
to
I was
laugh
gonna
out
say.
in my house while
Absolutely.
everyone else. Yeah.
Force of a hurricane. She approaches, greet him, coffee mug in hand. She's very attractive, of course, looking at you under her big wet hat.
He sees that I haven't touched the grating, but I've been scribbling furiously on like a yellow legal pad, and there's like I've drawn a picture of a crate. I've drawn like outlines of several like people with some words scribbled on it, and as soon as you come over, I sort of flip those pages up and underneath the legal pad.
Do I catch that or no?
Give me a spot
The
hidden check.
drawings. Okay. I'm spotting.
Well, the hidden.
Oh!
With a
I don't see it.
93, you didn't see it. You didn't even realize that there was anything on the notepad to begin with.
Damn
You
it.
could burn all your luck right now,
I could just burn all my luck right now, but I won't.
coward.
Save that in my pocket for later. Good morning, sir. What brings you to this, sleepy little town?
Oh my god, I'm trying to be polite because I'm not at home. What the fuck is it with weird people coming up to me today?
Yeah, I noticed you had a very interesting, companion earlier. Couldn't help but, notice.
Do you want to sit so that you can consolidate the location of where you're dripping?
Sure. Don't mind if I do. And she's gonna sit down, and then just some water just splashes everywhere a little bit, but she doesn't care.
Is she a water
That's-
Nazi? Like, I'm crossing the streams here?
Streams crossing? The streams are crossing? Shh, you don't know that. That's part of her backstory that I wrote like 5 minutes ago.
So you
Her
sit
secret is that she's always wet. Anyways,
I think they have
So-
medicine for that.
you don't need medicine if it's not a problem.
True. If you're Ben Shapiro's wife, you're fine.
down.
We need lube stash. Where's P. Diddy's lube stash?
Okay, we've said it more than 3 times. It's gonna show up at one of our houses. Okay.
He did his lube? I hope not.
What are you gonna do with all that lube? Just imagine trying to clean it.
What you gonna do with all that lube in your hat? In your hat.
Well, Sybil's gonna look at you, and you still haven't answered my question.
I was just coming in to do some consulting.
Ah,
You?
I'm here looking for a man in finance. 6'5",
6'5", blue eyes.
I'm sorry. She's not gonna say the other part. Just, I'm looking for a man.
That's, I'm not gonna pay you for your companionship.
It's not like that.
Okay, sorry.
She's gonna pull
Kinda
out
what it sounded
her
like.
her private investigator badge and just hold it up briefly.
I can't. Wait, they have badges for that? Like,
Do they have badges?
like it's official or something?
I don't know.
You have to
Dr.
be licensed
McFall.
by the state. Just
Dr. McFall, give me a spot hidden check.
Oh, I certainly can.
Yeah, she held up like a very fake badge.
Cool. Alright. What kind of man are you looking for? I doubt I can help you. I've only been in town for like a day.
Well, word spreads quickly here. About 6'2", middle-aged, very broad shoulders, Goes by the name of Marcus.
I don't know anybody by the name of Marcus. Can't help you there. Was he traveling with anybody else? If I see him, if I can notice that somebody's got broad shoulders, and I can say, "Hey, Marcus," and see if he turns. Should he be with other people?
Well, we believe he has ties to a international smuggling ring, and I've been tracking him.
Cool.
His last traces was here in this town.
Yeah, well, I have nothing to do with that. This is too uncanny. I'm gonna go, and he starts putting his things in his bag. I like a part of the backstory that I do have is to avoid attention.
I'm going to say that at this point, Edward McFall is in the process of leaving.
Mhm.
I believe Sybil is not quite finished, so I'm going to say that you follow Edward out of the store.
Mhm.
And in the moment that the two of you leave, you see in front of you the store that I had described to the other two as they entered in. It was a store that sold musical instruments. And what I would like from the two of you is a sanity roll.
Ooh. No, I failed my sanity roll.
I can't believe I failed my sanity roll.
I mean,
I can.
you have luck.
Not for sanity. Sanity and something else are the two things that don't.
Really?
Okay, so the first thing that happens is the two of you walk out the door. You're saying something. What you say doesn't matter. The two of you aren't paying attention to what's happening across the street. And then suddenly there is a very low hum that very quickly becomes very loud.
Mm-hmm.
And to the point where it hurts.
Ooh.
Like, at first it just hurts your ears, and then it hurts, like, your body. And then the store in front of you has a glass window. The glass shatters. And a lot of people who are in the area just react physically to it. And within the next, let's say, 20 seconds, the whole facade of the building just crumbles and falls inwards. And because of what's happening in that area, there may be like one or two people that you see within like 10 feet of the corners of the building. So it's not even in the center of the building. They're just close by on the sidewalk, and their bodies are just like mist. They are eviscerated for no reason. You don't understand what just happened. And that is what causes your sanity break.
Oh.
And we will come back to that in a moment.
What does sanity break do?
Well, you get something.
Do I see God? Cthulhu, is that you?
Is it me you're looking for?
As this happens, the other two, the agents, are finishing up their side at the second coming, and you just happen to overhear a beep beep, and one of the people who's in this establishment has on their phone a police scanner, and they're basically illegally listening into police chatter, and you hear them speak on the thing about a building collapse in the downtown area. It doesn't really mean anything to you as far as like what they saw. However, you do hear that fact in this moment, and you have nothing else really to do here.
Okay.
So the floor is yours in this moment.
So we are still in the church, right?
No, we're in the adult store.
Second.
Oh yeah, that's right. Sorry. Yeah, we're in the.
And I'm sorry, what did the police scanner say again?
They only mention a building collapse.
That sounds important. We should probably go look at that.
They do say the street it's on, so if you wanted to navigate back, you may do so.
Yeah, let's navigate back. Also, Graham is kind of leering at the products on the way out. At the selection.
All right.
We can come back later and get you a dong. Let's go take care of this.
As the four people converge on the same site, because the other two have not yet left, I need Edward and Sybil to both give me a D10.
Got a 9.
Edward he just passed out from the pain.
Oh.
Give me another, actually, forget it. You just pass out. A fun thing for Sybil you're going to gain a new phobia.
Oh.
It could be something as common as claustrophobia, or something as specific as demonophobia, where you're afraid of demons.
Can
Now,
you be afraid of people turning into fine red mists?
I suppose you could.
Do I choose or do I roll it or what?
You do get to choose it, but it will be a
Oh.
permanent aspect of your character.
Whoa.
You're afraid of wearing white after Labor Day.
Let's do a random phobia generator and then see what I got.
Oh, Fraser-phobia.
That's just prudent.
You're just afraid of Kelsey Grammer and Kelsey Grammer with family of products.
That's
I
appropriate.
got
Yeah.
albuminurophobia, which is fear of kidney disease.
Okay.
Should I go with
Fear
that
of
one?
beards. Pogonophobia.
So
Oh,
as you watch these two bodies eviscerate, the
Mhm.
last thing that existed in a solid state were their kidneys, and that just burned itself into your brain.
Oh my god!
And you're just
Never-
really worried about your own kidney because
I gotta get a checkup immediately.
because you watched as the body deteriorated, but there's still a kidney, and then the kidney deteriorated.
Oh
So
my
that's
god!
that just fucked you up.
Oh, is there a doctor in town?
I really wish you would have gotten fear of big wet hats.
Oh no, her life is ruined.
Yeah, fear of dry hat. What if she's just like,
Oh,
oh no, I gotta
Must
make it
be
wetter. It's gotta get more wet.
I carry a bucket of water on me at
Yeah.
all times.
I cannot have my hat dry out.
Nobody wants a dry hat. Just doesn't sit right on your head, you know?
That's very true.
Sloshing around. Anyway, so, see, this is what happens. Anyway.
So, as black as
Adam, you did this to
shows up-
yourself.
I did. I'm ruined. As a black SUV pulls up on the scene, there have already been police on the scene as well.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to say, Sybil, you just spent the last 25 minutes internal monologuing about a kidney, and then you kind of just come back and you're like, oh, police are here, cool. Or not cool. And at this point, the two of you in the van see an unconscious Edward McFall outside the diner, which is across the street of this collapsed building. The building itself has been cordoned off by police tape, and there's also like police activity in the area looking through the rubble, as well as this sudden grouping of bloodstains on the corners of the building that they don't understand.
Mm-hmm. Before, if I notice that Edward is, passed out, and like if, other people haven't arrived yet, or they're just arriving, could I quickly just rifle through his like bag or like pockets?
You may do so. You are not hidden, but you may do so if you'd like.
Could it be a sleight of hand? I don't know.
What is it again? Do they have sleight of hand? Yeah, they do.
Yeah,
Give me a sleight of hand.
Wha-bam!
Hey,
Let's go!
a perfect on the nose success. What are you focused on looking? Are you robbing this man, or are you looking for information?
Looking for information, if he's got any notes, or if there's like anything in his wallet.
You can easily find
ID
that yellow legal pad in his
Yeah,
bag.
the legal pad.
No, I took that with me.
No.
No,
Is
he's
yellow
his
legal
own,
pad.
Yeah, the one he was drawing on after you left.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Now,
Like-
you have all of that, but you also find just you don't even understand what it is, and it's just a note on the same notepad, but on a completely different page, and it's just a name, or what you're assuming is a name. It's a word. It's GHASAN.
GHASAN. Ah.
It's just written in his notebook. There's no context.
Yes.
there's no context, but there's
Okay.
that word.
All
And
right. I definitely pocket that.
you pocket it? Okay, sure. At this point, the agents are on the scene. You have a few things in front of you. What would you be focused on in this period?
Okay.
Evidence.
Evidence of the building?
Probably, yeah, because all of a sudden it's like a building collapsed. And
Yeah.
sure.
People eviscerated.
There's no blood splatter and floating kidneys or anything, so.
Oh. Kidneys? Someone's got kidneys. Are they diseased?
Sure. Would you like to approach this scene with the police officers and cops building?
Yeah, I would.
For sure. You approach, you see there's a handful of police. I mean, this is a small town, so there's not like this huge squadron, but there is a fair amount of police presence here. And the majority of them have not yet like gone into this building because it is a collapsed building and they are not engineers. But you can speak to any of them, or if you just want to go straight to giving clues.
I'll speak to them. Yeah, I'll go ahead and speak what's going on.
Do you introduce yourself with your badge, or do you just speak to them?
Oh, I go for the full cliche badge up,
Sure.
look at this and close it. Like, I'm too busy to explain.
So with that, this doesn't really have advantage, but I'm gonna give you advantage. Give me a psychology advantage to kind of just like understand how to talk to this guy.
Okay, how does one
Just do it twice.
Oh, okay. Hey, that's an easy way to do it.
Oh, a hard success right off the bat, and
Extreme!
an
Let's
extreme
go!
success. You got a 3. All right.
This extreme success brought to you by Mountain Dew Code Blue.
This guy sees that you work for the government somehow, and he just salutes you. He doesn't know what to do. And even
I would
more
just-
so than the priest, he is suddenly super pro-USA, super pro-government, and does not mind at all the fact that the feds are here, and welcomes you in. How can I help?
Yeah, what just happened?
We're trying to figure that out. We've ruled out the gas, but we have turned off the gas to the street just to be safe because we don't know what caused this. We don't know if it was an explosion. We don't see any evidence of fire, but again, we don't know what's happening. This building was up to code, so it shouldn't have just fallen, but I'm not quite sure.
All right, I kind of do an at ease soldier. Like, you don't need to be so, like, trust me, this isn't that crazy, even though it kind of is. I guess I try to get him to patch me into the local authorities.
For sure. With your extreme success, he is more than happy to help. He actually brings you over to a police car where it's got like that little laptop in the passenger seat or whatever, and he like, what's mine is yours. You have full access.
Wow, okay. I just want to get any information and all I can out of this laptop. Everything I possibly can about this town, the police, anything that would help.
Yes. Basic understanding is the police is just a generic police force, nothing too out of the norm for that. However, as you look at some of the open cases and some of the police chatter back and forth, you also find the name Ghasan, and you see it as someone who is working with, and what you can only assume is some type of company maybe, is called The Brass Ring, with all 3 words capitalized.
Oh.
So you don't quite understand what that means, but you see that. The other thing that you see is there has been a uptick in the last week of like disturbance calls, like, oh, there's weird noises or things like that. So what the priest was saying before, where it's like, oh, this box showed up and then suddenly people were getting scared, is corroborated.
Okay. Is anything I can find out on past history of the town, or is just any?
I mean, on the police, not really.
Okay.
You can see that this isn't a high area for crime. Going back further, like there is crime, like there's even things like murder and arson, but it's very few and in between.
Okay. All right.
Is there anything else specific that you might be looking for?
Yeah, I want to run a scan on the professor and
Okay.
the priest.
Okay. Priest has no police record, but you do see that he is a part of the town. He only pops up in things like, oh, he was part of a potluck, or he was part of this or whatever, but he's never had any police interaction where he had to be arrested or anything like that.
Okay.
However, there's no indication of Edward McFall in this system.
Oh, interesting. A stranger. Okay. Good to know.
There's no record of my birth anywhere.
You know what? While I'm at it, what's up with the proprietor of the bed and breakfast?
He's running background checks on everyone. This is a guy does a background check on every date before.
You guys have no idea how close to real life this actually is.
Background check shows no arrests or anything, but there's been a significant amount of murders in that bed and breakfast over the past 60 years.
A significant amount of murders.
Yes.
Okay, that's a little interesting. Okay.
And when I say significant, I mean, more than 5, but less than 10, which is, a significant number, but over the span of 60 years, maybe not.
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha. Weird. Okay. Cool. With that, I think I'll probably call it. I don't think there's anything else that I would, look into there.
Helen, Celeste, as you are here, what's your focus on?
The first thing I'm gonna do is give first aid to Dr. Edward.
For sure. Give me a first aid check, please.
Oh, poopy caca.
Oh.
Does this involve mouth to mouth?
We're gonna find out.
I did it. Did you get it?
Okay. You got an extreme success.
What?
Yeah, you show up in your pocket. You have some smelling salts, and you wake up Edward McFall.
But she didn't touch me.
No.
I just kicked you.
Okay. Holy fuck! What?
Welcome back.
Thanks. Are they? And I kind of look over to where I lost my sanity. Is there like a stain on the pavement there?
There are stains on the pavement.
Holy shit. Now, that name that's popping up, that was in my notebooky thingy-majigger, where would I normally get in touch with him?
You have gotten in touch with him before outside of this town.
So like not at a music store.
Right, not at a music store.
Yeah. Alright, gotcha. Alright, cool. I look at you, and I say, you're looking for the Horn of Jericho, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it was in this fucking building.
I don't think so. Because if it was in the building, then it kind of still is in the building. I think it was used on the building, probably to test something. You can take a look at it. But I did not think that this was possible. But I could find out real quick if it was.
Please do. All help is good help. Who's your friend in the wet hat?
Big wet hat.
I'm sorry.
No, my apologies.
On the big.
What friend in a big wet hat? She's not
That
still
one.
next to me, is she? I thought she booty scooted as soon as she stole from me.
Oh no. I mean, you were unconscious, so I would have just pocketed it, and then she would immediately, I guess,
Like,
looked
walked away.
shocked, and then, disoriented.
Oh,
She's
so
still-
you're like still within eye shot.
Yeah.
Okay.
She
don't
would
know.
have basically still hovered on scene, but
She's here
So-
technically looking for a man. I don't understand what that means. But as he
I mean, I
crosses
see
the
a
street,
couple, but yes.
as he crosses the street, he takes his gloves off as he is approaching the ruins of the building.
All right. As you approach the ruins of the building, the police bark at you and object, but you
I
don't
toss
care.
a thumb over my shoulder and just point at the corporate witch following me.
And
I flash my badge, which I never get to do.
and they don't stop you any further. You continue to move on. Your fingers make contact with the surface of this building, which is now rubble.
I don't know how practiced I am with this,
Sure.
but I would say what I'm trying to do is to see, can I get a vibe of what caused it? So I may not see things really clearly, but I'm not trying to learn about, the history of the fucking building.
I get you.
That's not what I want. It might be what I get, but it's not what I want.
Yeah, give me your special check. Okay, a hard success.
Yes, I am.
As you touch the object, which is just a piece of rock from the front of this building, your breath catches, the world tilts, and suddenly there's a small office which you're randomly standing. You don't understand. You're looking outside of a window, and you can see the music store standing as if it should be.
Cool.
Then there's another flash. There's a dark image, it seems like it's nighttime, but you realize it's daytime. It's just your vision is kind of dark, and you almost feel like you feel wind rushing across your skin, and the vision pulls upwards and it goes to the roof of this 2-story building nearby. You see a man clad in long tattered coat, He's crouched low and he's concealed in the shadows. His face is obscured and his hands are steady and precise. And in his grip, you glimpse the ancient horn.
And I recognize it on sight because I had found it once upon a time, right?
Exactly, yes.
Okay.
And you watch as he brings it to his lips with his expression unreadable. And across the street, you can see the faint glow of street lamps on either side of the music store as another flash, and then you see him inhaling, pressing it to his lips, and then a sound. Now, the sound that follows is not what you would have expected. It's not like a blast of wind or a sharp note. It's just pure vibration. And because you did experience the vibration in that moment, the one that hurt you, but it's in this view and in this point of reference, it's just a low and deep resonating, and it almost feels like you're in like an earthquake, like there's a shaking, but it doesn't hurt you like it did the first time. You can feel it in your chest, but it's more like a distant roar than it is a concussive blast to yourself. And then with another sudden thunderous crack, you watch as a music store front wall collapses, debris exploding outward into the street. And with another vision, you see the man swiftly tucking the horn into a satchel, and then quickly and practically he glances over his shoulder, scanning the empty streets on the other side of the building and climbing down from the roof and escaping. You follow the man to the outskirts of the town, to where lights again are in the distance. He's now outside of the main area.
So you said lights. I thought it was daytime.
It is daytime, but again, your vision of this is like skewed with a black filter. So
So it's like a Sin City or something like that.
Yeah, think of it like that.
Cool. All right.
Because it is, everything even right now is overcast, but it's not black. But in this vision, it's much darker.
Yeah. Crank up the contrast. Yeah.
But you see him approaching an old dilapidated farm, and it's on the edge of town. You see empty fields and overgrown weeds disappearing into the darkness of a barn. His silhouette gets swallowed by the shadows. The horn is hidden once again.
Cool. I let go of the rock. I promptly turn to her, and I accidentally, in my excitement, touch her.
Sure. Give me another check.
Boop.
Okay. You get a regular success. For Helen Celeste, I will allow you to tell what you might wish to give in this moment for a successful check of this.
Is this just like information he might pick up about me?
So, like, yeah, and my brain right now is on this Horn of Jericho case, so when I touch you, it might be just shit from you related to that. I don't know. But
Okay, probably images of me in the Vatican.
oh no.
Probably
yeah.
images of me in the Vatican Library. Probably images of me yelling at people in Latin. And then some images of me moving things with my mind.
I'm gonna spend enough luck points to make this a hard success. Okay. I let go of her. The experience of getting the visions from touching somebody is really disorienting. I throw up a tiny bit. Spit it on the
I
ground.
offer him some gum.
Look back at you and say, I'm so sorry, and I quickly recount. So I assume I know what building he was standing on from where I'm standing right now.
Yes, you recognize the two-story building immediately.
I'm gonna talk to you really quickly now. Top of that building, that's where the horn was fired from. He went out of town. My guess is from where the sun was in the city skyline, it was on the western edge of town. He's in a dilapidated farm of some kind right around there. He's a big guy wearing a tattered coat, kind of covering his full. He's probably connected with the other folks who brought. Expect at least 4 other people. Look for a dark van.
Perfect. Let me, I think I want to go to the town hall and look for tax delinquent buildings on the farms on that side of town.
We could probably just ask someone too. This is a small town. I don't
Also,
know if
yes,
you ever lived in a
true.
small town.
I have not.
That's fucked
Yeah,
up.
no. The smallest town I've ever lived in was 2 million people, and there was
Oh.
a pope.
See, I'm from sort of like central Massachusetts area. And just fucking small towns. And you just ask somebody. So I turn to like the nearest policeman. Where's there an abandoned farm on the western side of town?
You're going to want to go to Chase Road. There's a whole bunch of farms, but there's definitely one at the very end of the road, completely abandoned.
I turn back to Helen.
Okay.
So look, anytime you want, use my business card. You buy me dinner, and you owe me one. Otherwise, fuck that. I'm gonna follow you. I need this horn back.
Yeah, with this, you want to come with? Go. Yeah. I am going to text
look.
this information
Helen, I gotta
to
say one
Agent
more thing
Harper.
because we didn't talk about this, but it's important. I'm the one who dug that horn out of the ground fucking 4 or 5 years ago. Spent 3 years at an archaeological site trying to track it down. They stole it from me. I want it back. I want to clear my name.
I think we can help with that.
Excellent. Let's fucking do this.
Let's do it. All right. So I'm texting Agent Harper that I have some information that we think it's here. We need to get over there ASAP.
Do I have a car here, GM?
Yes.
Is it nearby from where I'm in right now?
Yeah. No. Yes. Yeah. Because you would
Presumably I can open the trunk right now?
Sure.
And I could get a baseball bat?
Yes, you can.
And leave my bag here?
Sure.
Excellent. And I close it, not knowing shit was stolen out of my bag. Okay. Cool beans.
I want to meet Agent Harper back at the car.
I was just gonna say, at this point, Sybil, after patting your kidney a couple times, you've watched a very interesting.
I've scheduled a doctor appointment back home for a checkup.
You vowed to stop taking aspirin.
Yes. My life has changed.
All soda gone. Just gone.
But you watch the end of that interaction between the doctor and the agent. Mm-hmm. You have the vision of a visual cue of them going to a car where he pulls out a baseball bat and puts away the bag that you had pickpocketed something from. Mm-hmm. You see that happening. You also see another man in more like a suit type deal as opposed to the police, but there's a lot of police around. So what would you like to do?
She's definitely going to stick a little bit more close to the shadows, be low key, and she would want to tail the professor.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So, on the other side of the street, we have our resident skeptic. He has gone through the police files and gotten what he needs. As you come out, you don't see Helen, but you do see, the other police officers. They're not far or anything. They're just not in front of you. Where's your mind at?
I just saw this horrible thing happen.
Yes.
I have been texted by my partner, and what did the text say?
It was the information about the barn.
Okay, gotcha. So I'll probably head that direction.
Okay.
But first, I just want to confirm, this we could fast forward, but basically, could I, through scientific means or just logic, determine, okay, what direction did the blast come from based off of, where, rubble is?
You know what? Because you are at the computer of this car, give me a computer check. Okay. Hey. Good success. You are able to use Google Maps and whatnot, and you kind of triangulate, and you realize okay, the building didn't collapse parallel to the street. It was a little bit angled, and you figure out where that angle would have been from.
Okay. Before I go to the barn, I want to go look at that angle where that was a straight line and see if I can find any evidence or anything at all.
Yeah, give me a spot hidden check.
Okay. Oh!
That's a big old failure. It's been raining. All the evidence has washed away.
Okay. To the barn!
I think we're meeting you back at the SUV.
Oh, okay.
And then going to the barn.
I was going to say, as you make it to your SUV, you combine forces with Helen and the man from the church.
He's the one that found it. Pop the trunk.
Okay, it's been popped.
Okay, I'm immediately just strapping up with as many guns as I can physically carry.
Are you sure that's necessary?
I'm standing there holding my bat Can I have one of those?
I hand him a Sig Sauer P365, which is like the tiniest
I know what
handgun
it
they
is.
make.
I know what it is. Yeah.
I catch it in midair. I want to catch it in midair to be like, no, civilians don't get our guns.
I only gave him 2 bullets. It's fine.
See now,
One for each of you.
One for him and one for the person that overpowered him.
No, I have to double tap myself just in case so I don't come back as a zombie.
Ooh.
For Graham Harper, can you give me, I guess psychology check?
Okay.
It's not really using it.
Extreme success.
Hey, there you go. Okay, with an extreme success, you in this moment kind of get things rolling. You understand like what the 3 of you want and how to move forward, and you're going to kind of just get the scene moving. As the 3 of you leave, going back to the woman left behind, how do you tend to tail them?
Well, she's a bad bitch, so naturally she has a motorcycle.
Okay. As you leave
My character
towards...
wants
That's
to
why
marry
the
your
hat's
character.
wet.
As you go over towards where your motorcycle is, you're about to like swing your leg over, but someone grabs your shoulder and you turn around and you see a man that you know. This is Marcus.
Ah. She's going to, and Sybil is immediately going to glare at him and go, "Where were you? What is this mess?"
I should ask you the same thing. You're here. Is this you?
No.
Well, it wasn't me.
It wasn't me.
Someone else has it.
Do you
What
know where
happened?
they are? I don't know. I just got here. You've been here for a while.
I have an idea. There's an old man, and he's got some sort of connection with
I'm
possibly agents.
47, you assholes.
Middle-aged man
There we go.
with a connection to possibly some sort of agents or officials. Not sure. There's a woman dressed as a corporate witch.
I'm not
Sybil will
just dressed as.
Oh.
Her culture
doesn't-
is not your costume, okay?
She will pass the note with Gassan written on it to Marcus.
Mhm.
Found this in the professor's bag.
I would like you to either give me a spot hidden or psychology check. It's not a hard choice. I just realized.
Yeah, you know, I think I'm gonna go with the spot hidden. Yeah.
Okay,
Mhm.
yeah.
Mhm.
With a success, you can really quickly realize that for when you saw this, you didn't even know if this is a person's name, if this is an acronym or what. He definitely recognizes it. He doesn't say anything, but there isn't that like what type face. It's just like a, aha, name. Okay.
Mhm.
He doesn't respond, and he says, "All right, we need to go. Do you know where they are?"
I think they're headed out of town, towards the outskirts of town. Saw the man grab a bat out of his car, so they're probably preparing for some kind of encounter.
All right. I'm gonna follow you, and you see he goes to a car.
Mhm.
What I would like from you, since you technically don't know where they're going,
Yeah, I want to nail them.
give me a drive auto check, but with advantage. So just do it twice.
Why did you say
Drive-
auto that way?
Drive auto.
He wants you on the left side of the
Drive
street.
auto.
He wants you on the wrong side of the
Driving
street.
auto. Ooh.
Okay.
All right.
Uh,
Okay.
2 successes. All right. You are able to not only drive the car through the streets in the quickest way possible, but you
Mhm. In
find
the sexiest way possible.
in the sexiest way.
My big wet hat.
You are able to find the black SUV.
Mhm.
As that happens, who's driving the SUV?
Probably be me.
Harper.
Yeah.
Okay. So the 2 people who aren't driving, give me spot hidden checks. Okay. No one watches you, Sybil, as you follow them, so they are unaware that they're being followed. Quickly, you find your way out of town, or not out of town, but to the edge of town. And as you go down Chase Road, you pass by some currently active farms, and eventually you make your way to the very end of the street. And as the street it went from paved to gravelly dirt to now it's almost not even a road. It's just kind of slightly less grass. You eventually come to a part where you see a large, open, but overgrown field, and you see a farmhouse as well as barns and other associated buildings for a farm, all dilapidated. But you also see the black tinted van that you saw on the security cameras parked outside the main building, not the barn, but the main building. What would you like to do? Would you like to drive the SUV straight into the property? What's your main goals here?
I think we need to sneak up on these guys so we don't get turned into a red mist.
Yep. Although we wouldn't know about that, right?
I mean, you know that they have a... Yeah.
Did you ask me on the way there?
Yeah.
Let's assume yes.
Okay. I will relate.
Yeah, what do you know about the Horn of Jericho?
Okay, most of this is just hearsay, and I don't know if they're using it as a way as a scare tactic to hide something else, like, I don't know, some kind of microwave weapon or whatever. But it was a shofar that was supposed to supposedly bring down walls, like the walls of Jericho, and led to an attack and killed a bunch of people. But that's horseshit. That can't be true. So something's going on, but I think they have the horn. Do you guys know what you're looking for?
Yeah, that's the Horn of Jericho. If you blow it, it can blow down walls.
Sure. Yeah, that would be my guess. It's gonna look like a big spirally, like, antelope type horn.
Like a satyr horn?
Yeah, it's a shofar.
Yep.
Graham just is like, yeah, the Jim Baker show. They blow them all the time.
As you finally get close to the property, driver, please give me a stealth check or a sneak check or whatever it's called.
Yeah, come on, driver, chop chop.
Let's see. Stealth.
I would like to take a quiet moment during the drive and just apologize to Helen for touching.
Oh, I get touched all the time. It's fine.
Hard.
I think
Alright.
you know what I mean more than maybe I even do.
I know exactly what you mean. I'm not mad about it. We're cool.
You can take me on that dinner then.
Yeah.
With a success, with a hard success on your stealth,
In the back. Okay.
you decide that you're going to not go straight down the main path of what would have maybe been like some type of driveway. You're kind of driving on what would have been a front lawn, but you go straight next to where that black van is. And even with the tinted windows, you can tell that the car is like not running, and you doubt that there's anyone inside, but you can't be certain.
Okay.
But you pull yourself in right next to them. You are basically hidden from the barn because you are behind the farmhouse. And also, what I would like from the three of you is another spot hidden check, please.
Love me some spot hiddens.
Failed.
Okay.
Fail! Oh, I got a hard success. I didn't fail. The two
So-
secret agents failed.
So the two secret agents don't see the motorcycle approach. But Edward, you see that woman that you
Cool.
talked to at the diner.
I pointed out to the... Well, I probably don't recognize her because she probably has a helmet on.
Yeah, but it's big and wet, so.
I still have the hat, it's just over the helmet.
Edward just sort of like points towards where the motorcycle's coming. He's like, is that one of yours?
No, is it one of yours?
I don't have any. I'm a college professor. I don't know how to make that clear.
What? You're assuming that means you don't have any, but I've seen pornography.
I get a little nosebleed trying to figure out what that means. I was like, look, are we really close to the van?
You can park as close as you want,
Okay.
but the angle-wise, you're on the same side of the house.
Hey, Agent Harper, can you get me within easy touching distance of that vehicle? I can try to tell us how many are here. If it's there. Don't ask.
Agent Harper
wouldn't
does not
believe it.
ask. Agent Harper doesn't ask and just thinks this is just another bizarre psychological disorder or car touching fetish. And it's just like, okay, sure, like whatever.
Porque no los tres. Okay. I try to quietly open the door and quietly step out and then touch the vehicle. Emphasis on quietly.
Okay. You touch the vehicle.
Oh, okay. I don't have to make a stealth check, or?
Nope.
Okay,
You're there. You're already.
I only have 10 points in stealth.
But yeah, give me your check.
I'm just abusing the skill like crazy.
Hey, might as well. All right. So
it's where I dumped most of my points. Yeah.
So an interesting version of this happens where it's no longer kind of like these cryptic flashes. It's almost like a cinematic, like if you were in a television show, this is what people would have been watching. And it's a aerial shot of the farm, and you can see that you're not the only one on the farm. Neither is the man who's inside the barn, and neither is the people who came here on or in that van. On the edge of the field, concealed by tall grass and some twisted trees, you see a international array of cars. So you see cars of every make and model, but they're hidden behind twisted trees. You can tell just by...
I know they exist.
Yeah, you can
I've
just...
never been directly involved in them.
You can tell because of the vision that is who owns these cars, and that thus they must be here. So although you've never met any of them face to face, the vision kind of fills that in. If you were watching TV, there's subtitles. But yes, you see 5 of them, each professional and dark with tactical gear. They're all wearing masks, and they're being quiet. And you get the kind of the feeling like a predator stalking prey. In the center of the group, you see... Actually, before we continue on to this, Sybil, you have come in on your motorcycle. You've seen them park. You also can tell that Edward McFall saw you, but basically just went and touched the car.
Weird car touching fetish.
Don't yuck my yum, you guys. Come on.
Are you,
I didn't come here to kink shame, but I fucking will.
But Sybil, are you going to go to where they currently are, or are you going to go further into this area, or like where are you going?
She would probably park further back, definitely not going to go directly up to them.
Further back as in closer to the road, or further back as in further into this property?
Let's go more into the property.
Okay. So as you go...
Wait, is Marcus on the motorcycle with me, or is he
No, he followed you. So
Okay.
he is going to go wherever you go, which is why I was trying to figure out.
Okay.
So as you go further in, you watch as Marcus's car pulls off to the side and goes in with where the brass ring, and he pulls in there. So
okay, so I'll go with
Sybil,
him.
her name. Fuck.
You never did?
I never did.
So as you go back to the vision, you see Marcus exiting the car and going to the center of that group. Leaving that, you now see Gassan, which only Edward would have recognized in the first place. But again, vision has subtitles, definitely tells you this is Gassan. So just as the brass ring is beginning to close in on the bar, you have this low hum of an approaching vehicle cutting through just like the field. It's just doesn't care, going through all the old corn stalks and whatnot. You see this sleek black sedan, headlights off. It's okay because it's during the day, but from the driver's seat emerges this tall, imposing figure with a tailored, crisp suit. This is Gassan, and again, with subtitles just to kind of finish the exposition, he is an infamous antique broker, and he has been operating in the shadows of both the black market and the academic world. He has a reputation. People know his names, but he has no loyalties beyond the deal. At least none that anyone is aware of. And as he steps forward, he goes towards the barn. Another man exits his car. None of you would recognize him, but his name is Malik. He has a heavy reinforced case, and he just stands right next to Gassan as the two of them walk forwards. Coming in from a different side of the farm, you have another tree line, and you see a pair of shadowy figures watching the farm. They are aware of everybody's presence, but no one seems to see them. They are not smugglers, nor are they connected to Kasan. These two are different. They are quiet and unassuming. They are blending into the darkness like phantoms. One of them.
Demure.
The
Order of Assassin Rabbis. I think I might have just breathed something into canon, and I'm scared about it.
Well, nope.
Come on.
It's very tempting, but I'm going to instead go with what I had. You see a man in his mid-40s, sharp eyes, and he speaks into a small radio. He is another agent, however, he is not from the O.A.I. This is another agent containing anonymous objects, but it doesn't seem to... or how do I want to say this? It's definitely someone who has never crossed paths with Helen or Agent Harper.
But his name is Rabbi Altman. Yeah.
His name is Kane. And
Rabbi Kane is kind of chill.
I mean,
and,
ever since he killed his brother, but yeah.
But besides him, he has a partner, Maya. The two of them both agents, and their eyes are locked on the barn. Finishing up the view, it now goes to a view of yourself. You see Helen Celeste. You see Graham Sutherland. You also see yourself, Dr. Edward McFall. And as you remain concealed behind the van, you watch yourselves watching the other parties, and storm clouds rumbling above you ominously. In the distance, the barn doors swing open with a low creak, and inside you see a faint glow of candlelight, and then the vision ends.
I relay the layout of all the individuals to everyone. I make no pretense that I don't know who they are or what they belong to. I trust that Corporate Witch will believe me. And I just stress the brass ring cannot get this.
Agreed.
And I also cannot be linked to this event. And since I am completely unarmed, I'm going to lay down on the floor in the back seat of this vehicle. And you got, like, in the backpack, like where the dog and groceries go. I'm just gonna lie down there. No, it's an SUV. It's not a part of the trunk. It's the backpack.
It's the trunk.
Isn't that what everybody calls it? The backpack?
No.
No.
It's
trunk.
Yeah, we still call it the trunk.
For an SUV?
I've never had an SUV, so I wouldn't know.
Okay. But it's where the dog and the groceries go.
Yes.
And I would not put the dog in the trunk, so... Anyway.
Well,
I'm
an
gonna go
SUV
lay down
is
in
fine.
that area.
But you put yourself in the trunk?
Well, sure, if it meant I didn't get shot by international smugglers.
There.
I climb into the backpack and lie down and say good luck.
Okay.
Alright. I think we need to stop this handoff ASAP.
Oh, the cargo area. Sorry.
You mean the trunk?
No, it's specific. Never mind, shut up. I'm gonna mute my mic. Bye-bye.
The hatchback?
Well, meanwhile, while he's in the trunk,
The cargo back.
yeah.
The backpack cargo?
Anyways, as the three of you have a very intellectual conversation about what the proper verbatim of a car is, I'm going to go over to where Sybil is. So, Sybil, do you head towards where Marcus went?
Yeah.
All right. As you approach the group, Marcus stops. His eyes narrows towards the barn. He's with a bunch of powerful people, and you are with them, but he doesn't think you are as powerful. He does think you're dangerous. He does think you're a master manipulator, and he also thinks you know more than anyone else, but he doesn't think you're powerful.
Okay.
But as he sees you once again, he's like, and for whatever reason, he's decided to call you by your last name. He says, Clyde. He says, we're here. And we're here to make sure that horn comes into the right hands. And just before we do anything, I want to confirm with you, who do you think the right hands are? Do you think they're yours?
Well, first, Sybil's gonna say, well, I damn well better get into the right hands. And to a second question, she's gonna say, depends. Whose else's hands are here?
Well, we have the people who botched the delivery in the first place.
Ugh. Useless.
You see another person known only by Rook, and they're grumbling, and they're like, what do you think we need your help for?
Well, I'm sure I'm here to ensure that you stop making this mess. You're to clean it up.
Fine.
Who used the horn in town? What was that?
As you look at them, you get quickly that they don't know. They don't know who's in that barn, and they don't know who has the horn. But they're very determined to go get the horn, no matter who it is.
Okay.
So their non-answer is an answer in itself.
Okay. Sybil is disappointed in that they don't know.
So in this moment, we're gonna go back to the agents. The two of you, one of which is strapped with guns, have the moment to move or to watch or do whatever you would like.
I get guns too.
Can
I'm not rolling into this naked.
Can I see if anyone is carrying the horn?
You don't see anyone with a horn, but you do see that one guy who has like a big metal case, but you can tell just by context clues that the horn is not yet in that case.
Okay. Is there a way for me to sneak up to the barn and look inside?
Sure, give me a stealth check.
Just clanking the whole way.
How much does your guns...
How many guns does it take to sneak up on a barn?
But the clap of your ass cheeks alerts all the smugglers.
All right.
You and your wet hat.
You finish up behind the farmhouse, and you come in from an angle that, although those two agents would be like, you would be in their view, they don't seem to notice you, and you get as close to the barn as you want without going inside.
Okay, can I see into the barn?
Would you attempt to look through the front door, or would you try to go to like a side window or something?
A side window.
Sure, give me a spot hidden check.
Okay.
Ooh. Unfortunately, the window seems to be like 9 feet off the ground, and you cannot see it. The only thing I would say is that you can tell that there is some type of like candlelight inside the barn.
Okay. Is this like a 2-story barn? Is this a 1-story barn?
It's a 2-story barn.
Does it look like there's a loft area, maybe?
Yes.
Is there an entrance to the loft from outside of the barn?
You know what? Just give me a D100. So any check you want, and then I've got a target number to go for.
Okay. And how do I do that again?
Just any check you want. I'll just compare it to my number. Okay. A 53 is enough. You need it to be a 60. You see that the further end of the barn does have an external staircase that would lead to the upside. It looks like there used to be one of those like what are they called, rope pulley systems, but they've added in a ladder, so if you wanted to climb up you could do so.
Okay, I am going to look at Agent Harper, do the eye pointy thing, and then up so that he knows where I'm going.
All right.
Going back to Agent Harper, you're still by the farmhouse. What's your plan of attack?
My plan of attack is to flank and cover Agent Celeste.
Okie dokie. What I would like for that, it's not, but I'm just gonna go for it. Give me a forensics check.
Me?
Him.
Okay.
As he covers you.
Boom. Hard success.
So hard success. You fully cover with full view. Edward, did you explain the two agents that you didn't understand?
I tried to give the full layout. I said
Okay.
who everybody was that I knew, because I was like, whoa, you know what? Fuck, you want nothing to do with this.
Okay. So you are now aware of where they are. You see them. Give me a stealth check, Agent Harper. Okay. You see them. They see you, but you're more so covering your ally.
Okay.
As this happens, we have the final person being Sybil. The group is moving towards the barn. Are you going straight with them, like side by side? Are you pulling back? Are you trying to go quicker?
So this group is like basically, let's just say, my posse or whatever, right? Or underlings.
Definitely people related with
Okay.
everything that's going on. Yes.
Okay.
Underlings, not quite, but
Okay. I think she would probably hang back a little bit, because she is also aware that there are other parties here. So she basically wants to like get as much a scope of the like current scene or layout as possible, and just try to like keep an eye on things and only intervene if necessary.
Sure. Give me 2 checks. Give me a stealth check and then a spot hidden check.
Okay. Oh. I'm gonna use my luck points for that. Oops. So it's 10 points of luck to make it a success.
10 for the stealth, yes.
Yeah, and I accidentally clicked on luck, so.
Okay. So remove 10 from your 41, so you'll have 31, and then you will have a regular success on your stealth.
And then spot hidden.
Yes.
Let's go, extreme success.
An extreme success.
What? Extremely spot.
So you're like looking around because you're afraid of people further away, like sniping at you. Maybe you're not quite sure what to expect. And then your eyes go towards the barn in itself, and the way that you're angled, you see the front of the barn where those doors had creaked open, and you can see a man in the center of the barn, and he's pulling up that horn to his lips.
Oh.
You see the atmosphere inside the barn, very heavy, thick, full of an unnatural stillness. And outside, as a brass ring begins to close in, you see Marcus, you see Rook, and the others moving towards the barn's entrance, with their forms shifting through this mist, because there's still that mist around on the ground. It stopped raining, but still misty. They have their weapons out. You are lingering at the edge of the group. You've stayed back, and your gaze is locked on that wooden door. And as soon as you sense the danger, you kind of tighten up, but no one else has a moment to react, and there's a boom. There's this single, deep, resonating note that splits the air, and it's not just sound, it's a force, and there's a shockwave that you see tearing through the air, almost like a hammer had smashed through glass, with every part of the air vibrating with a different frequency, but they're all low and they're all powerful, and it feels almost like the earth itself is about to break, and the horn has been blown. The sound is followed by a violent explosion of energy, with a barn door splintering apart, wood shattering into countless fragments, each one propelled by deadly force. The walls groaning under the pressure as that blast radiates outwards, and it goes straight into the oncoming members of the brass ring. Marcus is the first to feel it. There's a crushing wall of air that slams into him, and it lifts him right off his feet, sending him crashing backwards into the mud, the body skidding across the ground. Now, this is a very different interaction than you saw before. He doesn't just eviscerate right in front of you. However, he's left gasping and his vision swimming. Rook doesn't fare much better. She barely has enough time to throw her arms up in some type of defense before the shockwave hits her. The impact sends her sprawling. Her body twists in midair, and she slams into a nearby fence post, which impales her. We'll come back to that effect in a moment.
Did it impale her right in her kidney?
Oh shit, not the kidney.
That was what I was going to come back to.
Sorry.
Spoiler alert.
Not the kidney.
But before we get to that, the other members of the brass ring are thrown back. They collapse under their own force, but they're still intact. They're scrambling for cover, or it's just to get through the mud. They do have splinters of wood shards and glass pieces and random bits of metal like in their skin, but it's very topical outward injuries. They're good to go. And the center of all the chaos, untouched by the destruction, is that man in the barn, and he's still got the horn clutched in his hand. His eyes look wild. They're filled with some type of fear, but also triumph. And as the air still hums, there's like this palpable force that's crackling around. And in the aftermath, there's just basically the absence of that hum feels like a deafening silence. Even though there's actually still sounds happening, the difference between the two sounds, it's night and day, and it just feels like the game has changed. So going back to what has been ruined has been that kidney effect.
Shit, not the kidney.
So what I need is another sanity check.
Oh boy. Okay.
Okay, you actually passed your sanity check.
Let's go.
Now you don't freak out because of the kidney issue, but you do look at someone who just died. So now I need another sanity check to keep your sanity. Okay, 6. You are doing very good.
I'm so sane.
You're like, I didn't like Rook anyways.
She didn't practice good kidney health, so you know this was coming for a long time anyway.
Just getting dehydrated every day.
Now, Sybil, you lucked out. You didn't get hit by that concussive force. Somehow, you don't know how that worked because angle-wise, you should have also been hit, but you weren't. But you saw everything that just happened in front of you. You are out in an open field with just slightly overgrown bush. Where are you going? Are you going forward? Are you going back?
I want to shoot him.
You want to shoot. Okay,
I want to shoot that guy.
You pull out your gun. What kind of gun do you have?
Should I just read off my whatever, or I have a handgun and rifle / shotgun and firearm skill 1 and
Stella's definitely a gun nut.
You either have your handgun or your rifle. Which one would you like?
Let's do handgun.
Okie dokie, give me a handgun check as you shoot into the barn.
Oh.
Okay, you hit the side of a barn with your gun, but you don't hit the man.
How much luck will it take to fix that?
31.
The broad side of the barn?
Well,
all right, so
I'm here for you on that one.
Going back now on the other side of the barn, we have Celeste. You had gone to climb the ladder. Before you climbed the ladder, though, that whole scene with the explosion happened. Your hands are still on the bars of this ladder, but it's up to you whether you wish to continue upwards or change your tactics.
Can I see the person who has the horn?
You do, although you are basically behind him at this point, so you don't see his face.
Cool. Can I shoot him?
For sure. Give me your shooty check.
Well, my handgun is 100, so...
Let's go!
All right.
Kill at 100.
All right. So, with a regular success, you hit him. He whips around looking wildly to figure out what just shot him. Give me a sec. He's going to make a spot hidden roll. And with a 32, he clocks you.
Awesome. I want to use telekinesis to rip the horn out of his hands.
Okay. Sure. Give me a telekinesis check. Okay. Ooh. So it kind of rumbles and he feels something happen. He doesn't know what's happening. So he kind of just like moves his hand and you've lost the connection for a moment. In this moment, Agent Harper, you've watched your fellow agent fire their weapon, but obviously doesn't seem to have hit her target. Did, but didn't, end the battle. What would you like to do?
Okay, so where is the target in relation to me? Because I was further around and flanked, but...
Right. So he's inside the barn. You don't quite see him because he's inside the barn. You actually got a very good view of the brass ring get destroyed. And you're also very aware of the agents behind you.
Okay, so what would be the best tactical thing in this situation?
Run away screaming.
Yeah, kind of. So how far away are the agents behind me?
How far away would you like them to be? They're no more than I'd say 90 feet, but it's dependent on how far you want to be close to them.
I don't want to be very close at all because I don't want them to get me.
Also, I forgot. You also see Gaston and his partner.
Oh, and where are they in relation to this?
They are further than the brass ring. So the brass ring were the first people to kind of get hit with this. So you see them behind it. So it's Gaston and then another guy with that metal case.
And I didn't see the horn, right?
I don't think you've seen it. No.
Yeah, because that was inside the barn, right?
Correct.
Okay. I probably want to take cover and not get shot. Does anybody have their weapons drawn on me?
The agents don't have their weapons in your direction. Like, it's in your general direction, but you don't think that they're aiming at you. And the others are not, like, even kind of looking in your direction right now. They're looking at the barn.
Okay. I kind of just want to make sure Celeste is all right in this one.
Sure.
Yeah, that's probably my goal on this.
Like, in what way? Like, you want to protect her, or you want to go and check on her?
I would like to protect.
Okay. Are you just gonna, like, hold position, or are you gonna move in and try to take out the danger?
I'll try to move in and take out the danger.
Okay. As you move in, you can either attempt to go to the front, or try to climb up that ladder. It's up to you.
You know, if this is based off of an X-Files thing, there's always a ladder or some kind of physical obstacle that prevents the skeptic from actually seeing the proof of the paranormal, so I'll go for the ladder.
Okay. So as you go towards the ladder, what I would like from you is just a luck check. Okay. You make your way up about 2/3 of the way of the ladder, and because this is a very old and dilapidated barn, the wooden rungs break under your weight and you fall. You don't take any damage, but you have broken the ladder.
Oh, darn. I would have had proof of the aliens if it weren't for that broken ladder.
Just to check in the trunk of the SUV, you've definitely heard things going on. You don't know what's happening. Is there anything you want to do, or are you just staying?
No, for two reasons. One, me as a human being, I feel like I've done enough in this episode of having a skill ranked at 90 that was proving crazy useful. And
Okay.
Two, I'm armed with a baseball bat. I'm hiding.
Would you like to look for a better weapon in this SUV of the agents?
No, because I assumed Helen strapped them all to her. What I pictured.
Oh, no. There's still plenty in there.
I feel like there's not any humanly way possible of carrying all of the guns.
All 24 of them?
Silly question.
Mhm.
Did Agent Autism leave the keys in the car?
I'll leave that to him.
Absolutely not.
Agent Autism.
All right,
See,
I
he
definitely
would-
don't know. How
Keys
to
go in the
hotwire
right
a car.
pocket. Keys go in the right pocket, so you always know where they are.
Ah.
Wow, we're really leaning forward into this. Okay.
Do you not have designated pockets? Because I do.
I think no,
I do too.
I don't. That's why my wife got me tiles so that I can keep track of everything with my phone.
Yes, anding autism here. Like,
The professor would, if there was obvious guns back here,
Mhm.
arm himself with some form of handgun. The way I have him pictured is completely inept with respect to those things, as opposed to like me. He just doesn't have experience with it. So like he's seen plenty of movies, so he racks it and probably was already one in the hole. So it just lets a bullet fly unfired in the cab, and then he just sits there trying his best to keep good trigger discipline. And no, like combat's not his jam,
Mhm.
which is really weird for me to make a character with as Luke. But
Give me a
Yeah.
rifle check.
a riffle?
Riffle.
Oh, he found a rifle?
Give me a rifle check.
If he found a rifle, it's an AR platform. He probably has no idea what to do with that.
Give me a rifle check.
Oddly, I'm better at that than handguns, which doesn't make
Okay,
any sense.
with a hard success. With a hard success,
Did
you
I just get a murder erection?
you now have a murder erection. You have a rifle. You feel very confident with it. But you are also in the SUV, so it's up to you what you'd like to do with this knowledge.
In a moment of clarity of watching so many action movies, he like fucking slaps the magazine in, fucking racks the action, and he's like, "All right," and he puts it to his shoulder, accidentally discharges a round, nearly deafening himself, and the bullet just goes out the window, and then he's like, "Fuck," and just sits. The rest of you just hear a.
I'm gonna say that with your hard success on your rifle check, you didn't misfire, but you can sit.
Yeah, no, he ain't going. I got a 25% chance to succeed on a firearm check. Nah,
It's a 1 in 4.
whatever. I'm better at finding esoteric meaning in Hebrew with this character.
True.
So no, he's gonna kick his ass.
All right. So going back over to where Sybil is, you can see Gassan now getting closer. Having watched what happened, he's not making a mad dash for the front. He's trying to be stealthy about it. He still has a way to go. You're closer to the barn than he is. But what I forgot what you had said. Did you say you were trying to go straight in? Yeah, you tried to shoot him, right?
I tried to shoot him, but I don't want to like walk
Right.
towards him.
Oh.
I want to basically kind of like lay low, probably use like the bushes around
Just
me.
do like a Laura Croft dive. To
Yeah.
bang, 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 bang. And then shoulder roll it with your triangle boobies.
Yes.
Yeah, so you have the view of the front of the barn. What would your next steps be? Gassan is coming.
I'm probably going to back up a little bit to meet up with him midway. Did I also hear or see the shot from behind the guy who has the horn?
You have watched him get shot, but I don't think you necessarily saw who shot him. Give me a spot hidden.
Okay.
Oh, and I was completely unaffected by the most recent blast of the horn. Correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. With a spot hidden, yes, you did see somehow through the angles. You saw Agent Celeste shoot him in the shoulder.
Okay, so I saw her shoot him.
Yes.
Okay. Then while he's distracted, then yeah, I'm gonna like pull back a little bit, meet up with Gassan.
Okay. So you're gonna meet up with Gassan.
Yes.
Okay. So technically speaking, you don't know him. You know who he is. You've like not worked with him directly.
But I know of him.
Yes. So you recognize him, but you just don't have any rapport with him. But you can definitely go. Are you like approaching him, or are you just going in that direction?
I have rapport with him. I'm hiding in the car.
I'm going to approach him.
Okay. So you approach him. Give me a charm check.
Okay. Could it be a spot hidden check instead?
No.
Damn! I'm using my luck.
Okay. Yeah, you can definitely use that.
3 points.
Yes, 3 points.
All right.
As you approach, the two of them definitely see you because you're coming straight towards them.
Yeah.
You see Gassan obviously, but the other man, Malik, he like aims his gun at you, like fully raised, but it's Gassan who puts his hand on that man's shoulder to stop him from shooting you, and he allows you to approach, but he remains silent. And you can tell, like, in his expression, like, if you've got something to say it now. He's not here for small talk.
Got it.
He's not fucking around. Sorry, I got excited.
What the fuck is going on? Who has the horn right now?
He doesn't give you an answer. He just points at the barn.
Sybil's just gonna mutter under her breath, like, how the fuck did this go so wrong? Well, are you gonna help us get the horn away from him or not?
That's the plan.
Alright, well...
If the brass ring would be so kind to help, of course, this would be a boon for you. If you wish to go for the horn yourself, I can't blame you, but I won't allow it freely.
Sybil's going to gesture at the brass ring members who got fucking blasted, and well, we would love to help, but right now it looks like it's down to just me.
Did you just say shablasted?
Shablasted, yeah.
Nice.
Sorry, the proper term is Baja blasted.
Yes, it was Baja blasted.
No, I think it's ocean gated.
Ocean. Love that.
Sybil and Celeste, I need both of you to give me lucky checks.
Just luck? Alright. Hey!
Alright. You both failed, but Celeste's luck was a little bit better. Sybil,
Yes.
as you stand there next to Gassan, and as you discuss, you watch as suddenly Gassan, death drops to the ground, and you also see Malik fly backwards. You also watch as the ground moves far from beneath your feet, and you then feel the concussive hit, and you are thrown. What I need from you is a check for this. Give me a power check.
Power check? Hard
Ooh,
success.
Hard success. You get hit with this concussive force. It throws you to the side, but you definitely aren't where you want to be, but you don't take massive damage. You see Malik has probably broken his leg or something. He has landed badly. But Gassan completely bypassed it by just dropping flat on the ground. Are in pain, but not injured. So you don't have to worry about that. Although I would like you to take off just 2 hit points.
Okay.
Going back to Celeste, or Helen Celeste, the man had turned around again. He was following you, then realized oh, this is a bad angle, turned around, used the horn again. So he's faced away from you. You have a shot if you would like to take a shot, or if you want to change your tactics, it's up to you.
I would. Is there any sort of thing around me, like tall grass or anything like that?
So because you're so close to the barn, it's not as tall. You could easily run over to tall grass, but then you'd be further from the barn.
Is there? Could I take a shot and then duck behind the barn?
Yeah.
Okay, to play a proper cop, you need to empty the clip.
Yeah.
Hey, not your best shot, but you still managed to make it. You shoot once again. You kind of graze his arm, get his attention. Give me a luck check. Ooh. Okay. Do you want him to try to avoid you and kind of leave the open barn, or do you want him to focus on you?
Go ahead and have him focus on me.
All right. So, exactly the response you wanted. He turns around. He's trying to aim at you, but
I'm gonna shoot him again.
Okay, we're gonna come back to that. Okay. You shoot him. He's gonna make a roll.
Your barrel roll.
He is shot basically right in the center of mass and just falls backwards. At this point, we've got Agent Celeste and we have Agent Harper on one side of the barn. You're fine. You also have the other 2 agents on the same side of the barn but further back. On the opposite side, you have Gassan, who's fully prone but fine. You have Sybil, who is further kind of sprawled but fine. You have Malik, who is not fine. You also have the majority of the brass ring, who are also not fine. So between the 2 agents of ours, the 2 unknown agents, and Sybil and Gassan, what's the different factions focus? Are you gonna run in and grab the thing while it's down? Are you going to stay where you are and try to combat whoever else goes in? Are you gonna do something else? It's up to you what your focus is.
I'm going to yell at Harper to run for the horn, and while he's doing that, I'm gonna attempt telekinesis again.
Okay. Are you telekineticing the horn or something else?
The horn to me.
Okay. So you told your friend to get the horn.
Well, that way, if the telekinesis doesn't work, he's on the way, right?
Yeah. Give me a telekinesis check.
It's called covering your ass, Adam.
Yeah. Okay, a complete fumble. You not
That's
only,
why I told him to run.
you not only don't pull it forwards, you somehow mess this up, and you can flavor it however you want, but you throw it out of the barn in the opposite direction of you.
Sybil will 100% try to also just go for the horn.
Yeah, now that's happened, we're all just running for the horn.
We're all just gonna, make a man die for it.
You've thrown it right next to Gassan, who is on the ground, so he's gonna scramble towards it. So he's gonna make a check to see if he can grab the horn from the ground. With a 54, he
momentarily broke Adam.
With a 54, he doesn't make it to it, but he's getting very close. Graham, you have been told to run after it. Are you doing so?
Yes, but also I want to basically. Oh, this is a tricky one. I gotta shoot Gassan, right? I don't want him to get the horn.
So it's a matter of, do you focus on shooting the man also going after the horn, or do you just try to run after the horn?
Oh, that's a good question. I think can I run and yell freeze at the same time, basically?
Yes. Okay. But are you going to focus on stopping him or focus on running?
I got to stop him. I mean, he's closer to it than I am.
Okay. All right. Then you can either give me an intimidate check to yell at him and tell him to stop. You could give me a law check to try to be like, I am the law, although I guess he wouldn't really care. Or if you have another option that you think would work.
Handgun.
Nope.
Okay. Does he have the Oblivion plot armor on right now? Well, I mean, he just gets back up and he's just like, "Oh yeah, you're going to jail for that," or I'm gonna get you.
You can definitely shoot him, but this is not what you're doing. So,
okay, yeah, I guess if that's the case, how many feet away is he from the horn?
Less than 10.
Okay, and how many feet am I away from the horn?
You're on the other side of a barn.
Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna go probably to that direction because I'd have to go around the barn, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's the best I can do. I can't there's no one to shoot. So I guess I'll concentrate on running, I guess.
All right, so you make your way over. Give me a dexterity check.
Okay.
A pretty bad failure. So you don't hurt yourself or anything, but you're gonna be late.
We're terrible at this.
Sybil, you watch as Gassan is crawling towards this horn. He's, like I said, less than 10 feet away, still fully able. He's just making a mad squatting rush. What does Sybil want to do?
You know what? I want to go for the horn too. I don't trust this guy.
All right. So you get up, you run over. Give me a dexterity check. With a hard success,
yes.
You close the distance. You are now right next to the horn, and it's going to be between you and Gassan going for the horn. Give me a luck check, please. Oh. All right. With his 47,
use my luck to put it into the luck check.
I mean, you don't have enough.
Yeah.
You would need 73.
Yeah, I know.
But with his 47 against your 95, he grabs the horn. He has it in his hand, but he hasn't done anything yet. You are within 5 feet of Gassan, and as he's still, on the ground, so he immediately does like a fetal position in an attempt to get up. He is going to make a check to get up and away from you, and with a 66, he just fails. So he's getting up but hasn't moved away. So he's on his feet, you're on your feet, but you're very close. Helen Celeste, you have watched your partner run past you, but he's not very good at running. What would your next step be?
Well, I think I'm probably better at shooting than I am running, so...
All right, so you have the two people going for the horn. One person is holding the horn. One person is going after that man. Who do you aim at? I'm assuming him.
Yeah. Is there a way that I can move that they're semi-overlapped?
Unfortunately, not easily. You could, but you wouldn't be able to shoot in the same turn.
Okay. Yeah, I'll go for him.
Okay.
That's one less person the other agent has to deal with when he gets there.
Okay, a hard success with a 48. So you hit him. He's going to make a check. He has a very high plot armor. 60, he makes it. So he definitely gets hit, and you see him like react as if he's been hit. You've hit him in the deltoid of his right arm, which is his dominant hand. So he stumbles with the thing. Sybil, give me a luck check to see if you can get it in this moment.
Oh
no.
Fuck.
All right.
More into luck.
Graham, you were trying to run. Give me one more runny check. Dex.
Okay, there we go.
Ooh, a fumble. All right, you fully face plant in the dirt.
Nobody understands. Nobody knows how we got these jobs.
Maybe
I'm good at desks. Not barns, not running, not grass.
Agent autism.
In the vehicle, I've heard
currently
gunshots, and I've
overstimulated.
heard the toot toot a couple times, right?
Yes.
Okay. I would like to leave the vehicle
Okay.
with my bat in one hand, and oh no, I got a rifle, not a.
You've got
not
a rifle now. Yep.
Okay, I'm gonna leave the fucking bat then.
Okay.
And he's going to try his best again, continuing to channel like this is what they do in action movies, right? And he's gonna try to like be crouched and go. This is absolutely stupid because he's gonna get shot by his friends, but he's gonna go around the barn to not the side where the agents are firing, but the from the other side.
Okay. So where Gassan and Sybil are.
Sure. Are they like just standing there brazenly out in the open kind of thing?
Currently, yes, because of the situation.
Okay. Well, I'm trying to be sneaky. I'm very good at being sneaky.
Okay. If you are sneaky, what is your intention? Are you going to try to shoot at Gassan?
I'm going to try to get into a position where I can see the horn, and if anybody tries to toot the horn, I want to shoot them.
Okay. Give me a spot hidden check.
Spot hidden, I am good at.
Boop. Oh, with an extreme success, you
Brought
see
you by
that
Baja Blast.
with your Baja Blast extreme success, you see that Gassan has a wound in his arm. You see that he has the horn. He is holding it in a hand awkwardly. You can tell that that's not his dominant hand, but he's going to try to hold it to his lips. So in this moment, he's about to do something.
And I do suspect, like, what Gassan is involved in, right? That's not oblivious to that? Okay.
Yes.
Cool. I will make a rifle check, which I'm very good at. No.
Okay. So
I would like to, for the purpose of plot, I would like to burn 23 fucking luck points.
Go ahead.
Consider them burnt.
You managed to hit Gassan. He is going to make one more plot armor check. Ooh, with a 29. So he's alive, but he drops the horn and falls to the side. Now that leaves Sybil very close to the horn.
I want to hide.
Do something else? You want to hide? Give me a stealth check.
Oh, this is like one of my best skills, actually.
Nope. You are this tall man. You have decided to hide behind a well by standing behind the well.
That's the default that it gives you for hide, given my stats. That's 0 points invested. Okay. Well, hi guys, how's it going?
Sybil, you have watched someone shoot Gassan. The shooter was behind you because you see the impact in the back of Gassan. He goes down. The horn is down. What's your priorities here?
I want to grab the horn.
All right. You can grab the horn. That's fine. You now have the horn in your hands. In this moment, give me another luck check.
Can I burn luck to that?
You can. I mean, yeah, if you... no, you can't. Sorry.
Oh.
Burn luck to luck? No, you can't.
You can't. You can't.
Can I burn education on luck?
No.
Because that's useless.
Okay, now that's sounding autobiographical.
What I would like, however, is another power check.
Okay.
I have lots of power.
Okay. You have been shot. You don't know by who. You get shot. Give me another luck check. This is how badly you're injured, or not how badly, but where you are shot. Okay. A failure, but not a terrible failure. So it's not in the like heart or anything, but it is in your side. Give me a sanity check. Okay. You remain sane. However, because you have gained a full injury to where your kidney is, remove 5 from your sanity, please.
Oh,
yeah.
My max sanity or current?
When we failed sanity checks, were we supposed to remove any?
Yeah, I need to go back on how to fix that, but next time I'll do that correctly.
It doesn't matter because it's the people who won't be playing again.
Exactly.
Yeah, so it's 5 to my max or current?
Your max.
Oh,
So
max.
60 goes to 55.
Okay.
Or 65. No, 55.
It's 55.
75.
I had 60. 85, actually.
2.
102.
No, just 2.
I'm so sane.
What I would like from Celeste is a spot hidden check.
On me?
Okay. You've seen her get shot. You don't know who shot her. The only other parties that you know are the other agents, but you didn't see them per se shoot.
Did I see her pick up the horn?
You did, and then she immediately got shot. So now
I wanted to like run.
So, what I would like as a question for Sybil for priority's sake, you have been shot in the kidney. You can either try to keep yourself safe, which would involve foregoing the horn, or you can forego your own kidney, which is your fear, and keep the horn.
All right, I just like flip the coin essentially for it. She's gonna go into self-preservation mode.
All right, you drop the horn. You're like, fuck this, I'm out. And you,
I
run behind some trees. Give me a stealth check to kind of hide. Hey, with a success, no one else can see you.
Gotta protect the kidneys, man.
They watch you go back into the forest line, and you are hidden. The horn is now not being touched by anyone. You have the 2 agents behind our agents, and you also have Edward McFall standing behind a well. Agents, one of you is face down in the dirt. The other is not. What are your next steps? Are you going for the horn?
I think I'll get up.
Yes.
Yes. Continue going for the horn.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Also, you just robbed me of my chance to yell, "Drop it, you wet bitch."
I think that's a.
She immediately
that's
just quirks.
Oh.
I take it back. I want to hang on to the horn.
Celeste, please give me a dexterity check. Okay, with a success, you run to the horn. You make your way past your fallen comrade. Graham, as you get up, you see Helen run past you and get to the horn. All of the quote-unquote bad guys seem to either be incapacitated or gone. You know that there's another 2 agents here who are basically a third party here. They are not your backup. So what is going through Graham's mind?
Secure the horn, protect Celeste.
All right.
So, where's the metal case?
So Malik, when he got hit by the thing, he was tossed back. So it's not far from where Celeste is. but a little bit further.
Okay, I yell at Celeste to meet me, to take cover so she doesn't get shot from other mysterious agents or watchers or whatever. And then we need to get the horn in the case.
All right.
Basically, what happened was when I ran past it, I swooped down, grabbed it, and just kept hauling ass for the tree.
Sure.
Okay, fair.
You do.
I didn't just grab it and stand around and wait for someone to shoot me.
You didn't do like a Zelda, like you just got the horn out of the treasure chest, like put it in the air.
Agent Celeste, please give me a dodge check as you run.
Okay. Check.
A definite gunshot goes in your direction, but just goes through the air. You make your way over to where Malik's body is. You may grab the case if you would like.
Sure.
All right. You now have the case. You have the horn. You're being shot at. Edward, you are behind a well. Do you wish to intervene at all?
So no one's attempting to blow the horn, and I see my agent friend get the horn?
Correct.
I wish to run back to the car.
Okay. That is a very smart choice.
The entirety of this was a stopgap because everybody was rolling like shit. And I was like, you know what? Edward might do this. Okay, let's go. Maybe I'll roll well. Turns out I did. And I burned a shitload of luck.
All right, you make it to the car. No questions asked. Agent Celeste has the horn.
I shot a man.
Agent Celeste, you have the horn. You have the case. The final question is: so there are agents behind you. Are you just gonna try to avoid them and leave, or like what's? Yeah.
Yeah, basically. The only two people I trust right now are the good doctor and my partner. So I'm just hauling ass to get to cover, and then whether that's in the car or the tree line or whatever, and then scooting boots.
All right.
We'll kind of post up at the vehicle and like probably not the safest tactically, but I'll be pointing the rifle in the direction of where the agents are running to the car. So I could, in my head, shoot past them at any bad guys. Terrible idea, but
Or you could, well, no, the keys aren't in the car. I was going to say, alternatively, you could come get us, but no.
It took them, yeah. Well, I was going to drive this vehicle right into the barn.
Agent Anderson, your friend has your stuff. What would Agent Harper be up to?
Patting his right pocket, keys are still there, check. And then he is going to, let's see. I saw Celeste run into the woods, right?
She's towards the edge of the woods. She's going to, well, I'm assuming she's going to head towards the car, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm kind of like doing it in the way that affords me the most amount of cover from gunfire.
Sure. So she's like not deep in the woods, but enough that she has cover.
Gotcha. Okay, I'd like to either continue providing cover for her, or make my way to the SUV.
Make my way.
Why don't you run to the SUV, turn it on, and then try to come get me?
Oh, okay, that works too. You know what? I'm guessing Celeste just turns and like, SUV, and I'm like, okay.
Telepathy, bro.
You definitely make your way there. Give me a psychology check.
Whoa, interesting.
A failure. Yeah, so you've been told what to do, but you don't really accept that as being input. You're like, yeah. You're like, no, don't tell me what to do. I'm going to do it myself.
It's a long day.
I'm an adult, and I can make my own decision.
You're just standing next to a car yelling.
I'm
overstimulated. It's hot out.
With that, give me your language check. Give me your own language check.
Let's see.
Okay, with a hard success, though, you are able to verbalize the "don't tell me what to do," and you override the negative effects of this.
Wow. I'm leaning face first into this.
I can only tell from experience. So you make your way to the car. You have the keys. You are next to Dr. Edwards. The two of you are able to enter into your SUV.
Dr. McFall. Dr. McFall.
What did I say?
Dr. Edwards.
Oh, sorry. Dr. McFall, you, the two of you are now in the SUV. Please give me a drive auto and give me it twice because I'm going to give you advantage.
1 and 2. Hey.
Okay. With the advantage, you get a hard success. You drive this, and you kind of go to the edge of the forest. You swing open the door as you drive. Celeste jumps in. You slam the door. You just drive off.
Hooray!
So, as you leave, the ultimate end choice before you have to leave town is 1, what you're doing with the horn, and 2, what you're doing with Dr. McFall.
What?
Well, the horn's coming with us when we leave town, and we'll just drop the good doctor off somewhere so he can get back to whatever the fuck it was he was doing.
Which seems to be wanting to be left alone.
Well,
Teaching
I mean,
students,
if I'm
maybe?
honest, I am the world's leading expert on the horn.
You know what? How about we take him with us?
But I also what?
Yeah.
That sounds
perhaps
really
you could-
ominous.
Perhaps
You just get
consult with
kidnapped.
the organization.
Congratulations.
Yes, we can offer. The organization we work for offers wonderful benefits.
I work for the University of Pennsylvania, or no, Penn State.
Well, you know the Nittany Lions. Yeah, do they have good health care?
Yeah.
All right. At this point, I would like Harper to maybe make a call to headquarters. And
Sure.
basically tell them like, hey, Horn is secure, leading expert on Horn. Provide them a sabbatical.
Okay. Give me an intelligence check to get all of this done.
Okay.
Thank God I'm a man who is married to his job.
Okay, a success. All right. You have convinced the government to allow this man a furlough so that he can assist in this instance.
I mean, really, what they're doing is they're paying Penn State money to hire somebody to fill in my teaching load while
We're paying the government for a license to kidnap you.
Yep.
All right. Well, you make it out with the horn. You've successfully kept Edward McFall alive. Sybil is alive, although disturbed.
Had she tried
Not
to blow that
great.
horn, I would have shot her too.
Well, she wouldn't have
She
tried to
didn't.
blow it.
We will play a game someday where I get to kill your character. That's all I hope for.
The only thing I had
You can keep trying.
up the sleeve was to, if I ever had to shoot her or make a threatening shot across the bow, I was going to aim for the excessively large hat.
Not the hat.
Knock it right off.
No.
Bullets lose a lot of efficacy through water. So
I will say that in true X-Files fashion, as the camera pans up to watch this SUV go down the chase road and leave, you watch as a wide-brimmed, very wet hat somehow, despite the weight of the water, flies through the air and covers the camera, and the credits roll.